also before we go off basketball, these Lamarcus rumors are still bouncing around. This, the euphemism, this has legs, is starting to feel like not only is there some legitimacy to it, that there's some attempt to get this thing done from the number of sources you're hearing about Lamarcus moving specifically to Golden State for their number 2 pick with Lamarcus and the 11.
It's that time of year. What are we? It's the 9th, so we're 10 days away. Smoke and fire. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I mean, part of me wants to get excited about that possibility. Mm-hmm. Part of me wants to think, why would Golden State do that? Part of me wants to think, would the Spurs really do that? I know why they would want to, but would they really? Fun to talk about. But as you hear more and more rumors, I'm trying to figure out, are these rumors coming still from the same place? Now you're just getting more and more people talking about it? Or are people within the knowledge circle, putting it out there that, yes, there is a lot of truth to those rumors?
Well, I know if it's being leaked, it's not coming out of this locker room. It could be leaking out of Golden State or a coach's friend, one of those things. But the Spurs thing have kept it airtight, and he can't even go there now. But or maybe it came from Tim as he continues to supervise Lamarcus's shoulder rehab.
Well, Tim's too busy riding his bike with Manu.
I thought he was supervising Lamarcus's shoulder. I thought that's why everything had gone so well, because Tim dedicated his time and his efforts while everybody went to the bubble. He stayed here to make sure that Lamarcus was hitting the gym twice a day and making sure that he was living inside of his bubble as required.
That's what I was told. Manu a couple hours ago tweeted out a picture, another 30-plus miles again with number 21. And every time I see these pictures, I just wonder, if you're driving down the road and you see Manu and Tim on a bike, what do you do? I mean, it's like, seriously.
Well, that's a big old boy to see on a bicycle. Yeah. That doesn't go unnoticed. You see a 7-footer rolling around on a bicycle, you can't help but go, "What? Wow, that's interesting looking."
Yeah.
So it would be very difficult for them to bicycle anywhere where, obviously you don't want to be in too much traffic, but where are you going to go under the cover? Because I think you'd spot Tim pretty quick, especially if he's driving like a tricked out. Has he taken his bike to Black Widow? Is he riding around in like a West Siders?
You call it Black Widow?
What?
Blackjack. Did you call it Black Widow? Black Widow?
I think I said Black Widow. I was thinking of maybe a style, but of Blackjack. Is he driving around in a West Side kind of tricked out, like a wheelie Harley kind of thing?
It just looks like, your standard rich guy bike.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Nothing
you have access to that. Take advantage.
No training wheels,
like
no
lifted. When it lifted, chrome this, chrome that. Can you get a banana seat?
No. Why would you want one?
A banana seat?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want a banana seat?
Dude, it's been so long.
Did you have the Renegade bike?
Did I have a what?
When I was a kid, this is before motocross, the motocross bikes, the Psych, whatever they are. You had to get a Renegade, man. Had a banana seat. It was the only one you could, because that way you give guys a ride.
Dude, in my day, it was all about the Mongoose.
I'm too old. We didn't have those fancy bikes. We just had we had the Renegade and we had the 10-speed. That was it. You had one or the other. There was no in between.
I remember the Mongoose, and then we would try jumping on that thing and realize that they're heavy, and when you land, you kind of wish you had a better seat. But I can't tell you the last time I actually rode a bicycle.
That's funny. I would have thought you were on one every day.
Time. Nope, know nothing about them.
Every time I think bicycle, I hear about somebody else in a horrible accident. And, didn't we just hear about Coach Rutledge?
Yeah, DW
Wasn't he in a
Rutledge.
pretty rough one? Thoughts and prayers, obviously,
home
to the
and
family.
recovering, and apparently, from what I understand, still in a lot of pain, but at least out of the ICU and at home and on his way to recovering.
And that was off of a bike, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. See, I can avoid that by one simple act.
Not riding.
That just not getting on the bike. Hey, let's get on the bike. Let's have us a radio show coming back. Let's look at the Dallas Cowboys. A futile effort, but man, it was a lot of fun to watch. Cowboys go down, but man, they made it tight. We'll look around the game itself, and we'll hear from the pertinent players coming up next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you're having issues at your house with your plumbing, your heating, your AC, there's one company to call, and that is Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the number. 651-5899. At Quarter Moon, they're full service, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. They have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quarter Moon, they are green certified. If you haven't turned your heater on yet, you know at some point this winter you're going to. Make sure your heater is ready to go. Call them out, have them do a maintenance check on it, and make sure that your unit is going to be ready for the winter months. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899. 651-5899 or online, quartermoonplumbing.com.
Breakfast with the Blitz every Friday morning at 7:30. Join the Blitz as they talk to Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Breakfast with the Blitz every Friday morning at 7:30. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
If you're craving wings, Wingstop now delivers. Go to wingstop.com and get that flavor delivered right to your door. At Wingstop, they're continuing to feed your crave through carryout and delivery, including the option for no contact delivery. And you know you can count on Wingstop for classic and boneless wings, sauced and tossed in 11 mouthwatering sauces and dry rubs, freshly made just for you. The fries fresh cut every day and tossed in that addictive sweet and salty seasoning. And, of course, the house-made dips of ranch and blue cheese to top off your order for lunch, dinner, late at night. Go to wingstop.com for piping hot wings. You can order your favorite flavor today online at wingstop.com, or you can download and order right off of the Wingstop app. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters, announces you will save on really dark window tint. It's perfectly legal to have really, really dark window tint. Mother's has it all. Light, medium, dark, metallized, color stable, scratch resistant, ceramic, and carbon fiber based films. Every tint is a custom fit tint at Mother's Window Tint. Save $100. Save on car alarms that will protect yourself and your family. 24/7 live vehicle monitoring. Remote start your car. Mother's alarm systems provide the features not found on factory alarms. Plus, Mother sells car stereos that will make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother Thump. Save $100 since 1984. Service centers in Austin and San Antonio. Check us out on Facebook or our website, motherswindowtint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
We're the Aggies, official sponsor of the college football playoff, and we're here to say it's smooth, as meant to refreshing. We'll say the tailgates, ice now. D-O-S-C-Q-U-I-S, those Aggies that sell beer.
For your next tailgate here in San Antonio, grab some ice-cold Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. Copyright 2020.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise, and save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
At the Home Depot, we improve things. This holiday season, we've improved Black Friday. Instead of one day of crazy, we've lowered prices now, and they'll stay low all season. From decorations to dishwashers, wreaths to ratchet sets. So sleep in. You're not going to miss Black Friday. Not one little bit. Black Friday improved. The best prices of the year already here at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last. See store for details.
I mean, losing sucks, you know. I felt like our guys played really hard today and played really well, and we deserved a chance to win that game. And you know, obviously we gave ourselves that chance, but it's just tough when you when all of us together put everything into that thing and then come up short.
You're on the Blitz. You're on ESPN San Antonio. That was Garrett Gilbert post-game, the losing quarterback. But The loss wasn't so much. I mean, certainly if you looked at it by the numbers, it was on the quarterback. Couple of late turnovers, yada, yada. But they wouldn't have been there but for the play of Garrett Gilbert, who I think by every measure but the turnovers was well ahead of what we expected to see.
Well, I mean, he's no Ben DiNucci. I mean,
Gee whiz.
Gilbert played good football, and
yes,
I mean, his numbers weren't bad. 21 of 38, 243, did have a touchdown, but there are some plays, where the ball sailed, inaccuracy. But I mean, my expectations weren't very high to begin with. So I mean, he talks about having a chance to win. He gave himself a chance to win. Wasn't happy with that last throw into the end zone. His time expired. Not sure where that was going, but he did some really nice things, climbing up in the pocket, looking for option 1 or 2, or in the case of that pass to the Belldozer, that had to have been option 9. There's no way that Bell was anywhere in that. Even that little pass that he had out to Zeke when it looked like he was getting sacked, that was kind of Tony Romo-esque. And if Zeke would have been able to break that tackle, he would have got a ton of yards there. So I don't know how Garrett got that ball out. I mean, all in all, I was pretty happy with what I saw from Garrett Gilbert. He gave the team a chance to win. But, man, at some point you got to get into the end zone. At some point, all the field goals come back to bite you in the ass. And it did yesterday against an undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers team.
Yeah, that's going to be an issue that's going to have to be addressed once we start seeing the team getting healthier and healthier with a full complement, because that's one of those symptoms that is lagged, that is still around, whether the players are hurt or not. They just haven't been able to score even when Dak was in. So, yeah, the grade book is certainly out on Kellen Moore. But, we saw a quarterback that at least wasn't going to get lost in the offense and hold on to the ball without making too many mistakes. I mean, the Cowboys held on to the ball 33 minutes. They had the ball enough to implement that complementary football that we've been talking about so much. And that was because the defense was highly effective in 3 and outs. They played a very good football game. Now, now this comes back down to the Nolan thing. You keep hearing that they're getting it now, they're buying in and all that. But is it more a product of getting the old Poe out of the way, and suddenly we're seeing Gallimore playing ball, and the defensive line is collapsing in there and forcing Roethlisberger to make some decisions and get out of the pocket, or at least at the very least make him uncomfortable just about every time he dropped back? That defense, is it health or is it true buy-in on Nolan's whatever scheme is going to be? Because I'm impressed, whatever it is.
The last 2 weeks, the defense has played well, and I don't know if it's exiting a couple players that just didn't buy in, that, if it truly is, well, we're paying them more, so we got to play them more. Well, that's BS to begin with, but you are seeing more, and I think the addition to Sean Lee is certainly helping out the linebackers, although I am very, very this close to I am so done with 54.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Jalen just some of the mistakes that he makes in coverage, or even a slap to the head of the quarterback, I don't know. He's become the punching bag for this Cowboys defense. But they are the last 2 weeks they have played better. Is it a combination of all of it, plus with no offseason and no training camp, they have finally figured it out? Where they're not as lost, where they're not thinking about what they're supposed to be doing. They got it down enough now to where it's more reactionary, which is where it needs to be. I think it's a combination of all of that, but it's still Tabasco in the eye.
Well, they're the luckiest undefeated team in history this far into the season. There's no question. They squeaked out of a couple, but this was a team that's capable at times of going downfield. And I'll tell you, Claypool is almost a reincarnation to me of Des Bryant. That dude, he's a beast. He's a tough cover, and his availability is there all the time. And cornerbacks worked hard yesterday. They got burned a couple, but for the most part, respect given to even the cornerbacks. So I think there's reason to be optimistic, though. My goodness, win that game. I mean, how often are you going to be in that situation with a team that literally cared nothing for you and showed so little respect to go for it like they did at the end of the game? That was just like, we're tired of toying with you boys. We're just going to go ahead and put this one to bed. I'm so glad that the world's team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, stubbed their toe at least there for a second. Gave the Cowboys a chance.
Whatever, Big Ben. I mean, I mean, do you celebrate the fact that you covered? And the Cowboys did cover, and double-digit home dogs. The Cowboys played like a team that said, "You better put some respect on my name." I mean, that was not the Dallas Cowboys I expected to see it, and at the end of the game, you're kind of pissed off that you lost, even though you didn't expect that going in. I mean, we're back to getting our hearts broken by the Dallas Cowboys as opposed to just embarrassed, which is what we have seen so much this year. That was one of those games. I go back to 1989. The only win the Dallas Cowboys had that year was against the Washington Redskins. And you felt good about everything because at least you beat Washington. As bad as this year has gone, boy, if you would have knocked off Pittsburgh, handed them their first loss, I mean, Jerry's head would be so big right now to be as if they won the Super Bowl, because you do have to over-celebrate these small victories. Yet they couldn't even get that done.
As we head into a bye week, a lot of decisions that I thought were going to be forced to be made aren't going to have to be. Nolan, I think, is comfortable in for the rest of the season. There's really no need to change. But McCarthy, you wonder where he sits, Jason, as far as, all right, we're this far in, 2-7, obviously not where we wanted to be, but finally starting to see some improvement.
Well, and that's where they are. For Mike McCarthy, his words, they're heading in the right direction.
I just focus on what we do every day, and it's just – today's a reflection of what we're capable of doing. Just as I spoke to the football team, we need to continue to focus on the things that we can control, the plays that we can control. We clearly understand it comes down to only so many plays each and every week determine whether you win or not. So and that's what we'll continue to do. So I think the understanding of what we're how we're playing and how we want things done, you can see it building throughout the preparation phase. You can see it building on the practice field. And I think we're definitely taking the steps in the right direction the last 2 weeks. As far as the understanding, the speed, we're trying to get things done. So we have a bye week. We'll spend time in the self scout of it all, both individually for the players and obviously all three phases. And we'll get loaded up because it's time. And we got to get going. Obviously, we're running out of everybody knows what our record is. So
yeah, finish your thought, Coach.
We need to get going. Yeah, we need to start stacking wins.
Yes. Did he say not start stacking wins? I'm not sure. What did he say there at the end? Hang on. Did he?
Knows what our record is.
Got to stack some wins, baby.
We need to get going. Yeah, we need to start stacking wins.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, they're running out of time. And again, the NFC East is still available to them, which is nuts. But if they played like this against anybody in the NFC East, they win hands down, even if they're only kicking field goals.
With the performance we saw, should there be competition at quarterback? I don't want to take anything from Andy. I mean, he did win a game, came off the bench, was the hero. But, after the decapitation between him and the Nooch, I don't remember the last time I felt comfortable at quarterback, and suddenly I see a comfort level that when Garrett drops back, I'm not worried about, just something stupid happening. I know that it's got to be his gig, but how desperate are we again for looking forward to finding something for the future? And we know Dalton ain't about the future.
Well, Dalton's not about the future, although he's not long for the Dallas Cowboys. We know that. Right. He wanted to take this opportunity to set himself up for next year. It depends on what you're really trying to do as an organization, and we are going to find that out. You often say players don't take, organizations do. Andy Dalton still probably gives you the best chance to win. But if you're going to go with Garrett Gilbert, you're obviously putting a spark into his career, because maybe he could be your backup going forward, or maybe he ends up with a starting job somewhere. I mean, he proved in the Alliance League he can win and he can throw. And in his first opportunity at the NFL level, he did not embarrass himself. He looks like an NFL quality quarterback. He's already better than Carson Wentz. So I say that kind of half jokingly, but you'll know where the organization is going with that, because I think the biggest difference, and remember, we only saw Andy Dalton for a very brief moment before his head nearly came off. But I think Kellen Moore has proven the last 2 weeks his value as an offensive coordinator and his play calling and game planning. I think when you go back to the Washington game before the decapitation, I think Kellen Moore just rolled in. Well, if Dak were here, this is what we would do. We'll just plug in Andy Dalton.
Well, that was their expectation, though.
But again, though, I mean, you can't really do that because Andy can't run the way Dak can run. And so with what I've seen the last 2 weeks, getting Ben DiNucci ready to go and getting Garrett Gilbert ready to go, if he goes with Andy Dalton and they come up with a game plan that better suits Andy Dalton to be Andy Dalton, not Andy Dalton to be Dak Prescott, you've got an opportunity to go win football games.
And a healthy Zach Martin. And having Joe Looney
that
available.
helps.
And, those are tremendous additions to that playbook that would be designed specifically for Andy Dalton. Yeah, I'm sure. But I will say this. I see no point in going with it and saying, well, Andy Dalton's the guy we signed to be our backup quarterback, and he's not going to lose his gig because he got hurt. I can understand the thought process if this was a team that was 4-5, and still trying to get someplace. I mean, we can be happy about it, but there's no reason to go anywhere except if you're going to look forward to that. One last thing before we're going to have lots of Cowboys talk too. But what did you think about the punt return? First, your initial thought as you watched Cedric sprinting toward the goal line and Willie Mazing a punt over his shoulder about to run into the end zone. I was ready to fire a fossil right then. Like, dude, what is happening? We're playing well. And you're about to screw this up. And I'll be darned. Fossil becomes fossil once again, and we get to see a little bit of the razzle-dazzle.
Special teams played a big role in the Cowboys having an opportunity to win yesterday. And that play, I like it. At first, when I first saw him do it, I was like, dude, no. And, I saw a kid do that on Friday night, over the shoulder punt return inside your own 10. And of course, he's got the athletic speed. He still actually managed a pretty good return. But you know what the general rule is. If it's going over your head, let it go. If it's going to land inside the 10, let it go. But hats off to Fossil for calling it. And the Cowboys, no matter what, they were going to execute that play. And yeah, there was the penalty on there, but I credit Fossil for just calling it. They were pulling out all the stops, everything they needed to do to try to steal a win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then on the replay, and Tony Romo quick to point this out, the running down, the guy probably screamed, "Oh, my hamstring!" And the Steeler gunner guy left him because he was faking a hamstring injury, and then runs to the other side of the field, heals quickly, and then takes off. I mean, just brilliance all the way around. Well done. You'll never be able to do it again, but well done.
They okey doked him. The faked hammy. That was that is the brilliance that's the one step beyond that. When you're feeling good about what you do, you try. It was a desperate times call for desperate measures kind of situation. I am completely floored. That was a smart move. How do you grade the Mike Tomlin move apart from the disrespect that it showed for the Dallas Cowboy defense?
I think there's a couple things there. It was disrespectful to the Dallas Cowboys defense, but when you look at score and time, it was probably the smart thing to do, even though you're not risking losing the game. Well, you are risking losing the game, but you got a lot of confidence in your defense. You've already had a field goal blocked. You already had an extra point missed. I think it tells you don't have a lot of confidence in your kicker, who, by the way, in typical Dallas Cowboy 2020 fashion, they try a 54-yard field goal. Penalty is on them. Moving back 5 yards, they get another opportunity, and the guy drills it. I mean, it doesn't get more 2020 Dallas Cowboys than that. And why is that a rule? If the penalty's on you, you can't decline it and just take the play. That's stupid. Because I know the play supposedly never happened. But the
play with this on the rules?
Well, look, the penalty is on Pittsburgh, and they missed the field goal, right? They missed the field goal.
With you. I'm with you. This is the rule's dumb.
Let's march them back 5 yards and give them another opportunity, and they make it. I mean, that is so 2020 Dallas Cowboys.
Bad things happen to bad teams, but all in all, it was that valiant effort that we appreciate and the desperation that was required to keep us interested. But at the end of the day, they remain 2-7 in a chase for a top 5 draft pick and in the NFC East all at the same time. It doesn't get any better than that. When we come back, we'll look
2020.
around the rest of the league. The Texans returned minus linebackers. It didn't matter. We'll look at how rebuilding will go with Deshaun Watson and look at who's the best team in the NFL. We've got some new contenders, and one falls from the list. Lots of NFL talk coming your direction. Hang around. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you know your brakes are going bad or you think they're going bad, you need to know about newbrakes.com. Jason Minix here for New Brakes. nubrakes.com. They're a mobile brake shop. They will come to you to fix your brakes. So before you head out on a holiday road trip, get the sense of security that your brakes won't fail you, especially if you're going somewhere that's cold and snowy, because cold, wet weather is hard on your brakes. New Brakes, well, they're not hard. They make getting your brakes repaired easy, convenient, and affordable because they will come to you. Your home, your office, wherever you are, their certified brake techs will come to you to fix your brakes while you continue to live your life, whether you're at work, supposedly, working from home, working from the office, doing some online shopping, watching the game. You can do whatever it is you would normally do. Take a nap on the couch. Most repairs are done in less than an hour, and they only fix brakes. So, you're not worried about them telling you this is wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. No, they're just going to fix your brakes. You don't have to go to a shop. You don't have to leave your car overnight somewhere. They come to you, fix your brakes. They use only premium brake parts and back all repairs with 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. Go read all their great 5-star reviews. If you go to newbrakes.com, schedule your repair, and mention my name or ESPN San Antonio, you will save 10%. Newbrakes.com. Again, nubrakes.com.
Dallas Cowboys football is on ESPN San Antonio and 102.7 Jack FM.
Zeke Elliott walked all the dogs.
Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair, Alamo Water Softeners, Ewald Kubota, The Root Pump, and the Agri Elephant.
Thomas J. Henry has been named one of the best places to work in the nation for 2020 by Glassdoor. Start your career today at tjhlaw.com. That's tjhlaw.com. San Antonio, Texas.
It's been a hell of a year, San Antonio. I'm Chip Ingram, and my bars, the Root Pub and Angry Elephant, have been closed more than they've been open, and I didn't see that coming. Fortunately, things are getting better. 281 North is open, and football is finally here. Our kitchen is open every day till 2 a.m., and we open for happy hour at 11 a.m. And as our customers say, our food is pretty darn good. So this is me asking you to help a local guy and his staff get back on our feet. Come see us at the Root Pub and Angry Elephant at 281 North and Redland Road.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Connect with your favorite radio shows through contests, social media, and podcasts. Create custom alarms with your favorite radio stations, all free with the radio.com app.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 10 locations and check out the Kubota L2501 tractor package deal, which includes a 4-wheel drive tractor with a hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package deals at ewaldkubota.com.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters, announces you will save on really dark window tint. It's perfectly legal to have really, really dark window tint. Mother's has it all: light, medium, dark, metallized, color stable, scratch resistant, ceramic, and carbon fiber based films. Every tint is a custom fit tint at Mother's Window Tint. Save $100. Save on car alarms that will protect yourself and your family. 24/7 live vehicle monitoring. Remote start your car. Mother's alarm systems provide the features not found on factory alarms. Plus, Mother sells car stereos that will make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother Thump. Save $100. Since 1984. Service centers in Austin and San Antonio. Check us out on Facebook or our website, motherswindowtint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly. Parts.
Want to hear how I almost got off the naughty list this year? I helped Santa save gazillions by having him download Capital One Shopping to his computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. You can download it too and save a bundle. You don't even need a Capital One card, and it's free. So why didn't I get off the naughty list? Turns out Santa's a stickler for naughty words. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're your home for Rock the Mic, and always brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. Negligent drivers of cars, trucks, and commercial vehicles should pay all the harm that they cause. Medical expenses, lost wages, pain, and mental anguish. Call Jason Thompson. His number is 210-900-0400. ALawyerForUs.com is his website. He will go after every penny that you deserve by law. Jason, earlier today, I was just telling James, listen to our little bump music underneath. I like this. I had to get up and head out and drive around a little bit today, and I'm hitting, I listen to our station, but also I like to listen to other stuff. I'm not always at work. And I hit a button for one of my favorite stations, probably one of those adult contemporary ones, a little bit of Dan Fogelberg, a little bit of Afternoon Delight, a little bit of old stuff just to hum along on a pretty breezy morning. Hit the button, and I heard Christmas music.
Already?
Yep, heard Christmas music. It was a jarring experience, to say the least. I'm mentally not equipped to even begin to think that it's time to consider Christmas. But I guess
I already have my Christmas lights on the house, man, so I can't say anything.
Yeah, you're right. We did talk about this, so maybe I'm behind the curve. I just found it odd to already hear it. I'm not the curmudgeon that says you can't. I understand that the economic need behind it, but it was rather jarring. I got to tell you, it just feels like this. You had July the 4th, and you went, well, we're in the midst of it. This sucks. And then we had what's the end of? Is that Memorial Day? That's the end of the season. I always get them confused. Labor Day. So then we had Labor Day.
Yeah.
And then we had Labor Day, and things were getting better as far as the COVID, and we were kind of opening up a little bit and feeling a little bit better. And then now I'm hearing Christmas, and then now I'm starting to really feel the lost time. That this has really turned into a full year of crap, waiting for this thing to get done. Christmas music.
It's a little too soon for me for Christmas music. Quite honestly, it's a little too soon to have lights already on the house. But there they are. But it is kind of weird when you see them. You drive home and you see the lights, and you're like, man, I can't believe these things are already up there.
Are you on? Do you turn them on?
Well, yeah, if I put them up there.
Good. Okay, I would.
Well, and I, for the first time, we actually hired somebody to do that. So some company was going through the neighborhood, and they did the neighbor's house, and they're doing
Gypsies.
some others. And, so when they called or emailed and said, hey, they were putting them up, I thought the same thing. Dude, it's barely November. They put them up on election day, whatever that Tuesday was. But they've already got a bunch of houses in our neighborhood already up. Now, if I were putting them up, I wouldn't put them up until after Thanksgiving. But in this case, they're up and they're on some fancy timer. I'm not messing with it. So
put them on, man. Yeah. Celebrate it.
Yeah. But we still have Thanksgiving stuff up too that my wife hasn't put away.
Am I allowed to still have gourds? Is it still gourd season? That's all. Because I got a bunch of them up by the front door, a bunch of pumpkins and gourds that. Yeah. I don't know why we want to make our house look like we just went through the harvest and we got good gourds for the winter.
Again, if it were up to you,
but we got piles of them, man.
But I mean, I know you didn't put them up or take them down. I just know that the safe husband thing to do is not mention like, how long are we going to have this crap up?
No, I had nothing to do with it.
She's ready to switch it out.
I just came home. They were there.
She'll switch it out soon enough.
My rule of thumb as it pertains to Christmas music and lights and stuff. When you start seeing eggnog, when eggnog's in stores, fair game.
Is it in stores?
Well, it's
yes.
been in stores since the summertime. I'm hearing commercials. I'm hearing commercials that our Black Friday sales are already started, so you don't have to rush out on one day. Lowest prices of the year. So yeah, it's that time of year.
Now, eggnog is like milk with egg in it, right? That's basically it. Am I correct there? I've never actually made it.
I don't
poured it out
know
of a
what's
carton,
in it, but it's
added
delicious.
a fair amount of alcohol to it. Whatever it is, it's not like it starts out in milk, and then after the expired date, they just go wash off the expired date and move it to the buttermilk.
Yeah,
and then,
that's
butter,
exactly
now it's
what they
buttermilk.
do.
You
Yeah,
got to
that's
buy
exactly
this.
what they do.
Then when the buttermilk expires,
and then
it
after
becomes
buttermilk,
eggnog.
they go, well, put it over in the eggnog aisle. It just works its way down the aisle. Is that how that works?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much, until it's gone. Until it's gone.
Just curious. Let's talk some NFL. First of all, for James Pledger's edification, the Texans took the field against one of the worst teams in the NFL, very promptly score and give up a score. And you think, here we go. But they righted the ship. And when you watch the Texans right now, James, and you see what Deshaun Watson's doing, and you hear all the talk about rebuilding or the lack thereof, are you comfortable today saying, you know what, it could be a lot worse? Or did you see that defense and go, my God, I got to go get 8 dudes? I don't know if trading a JJ is going to be enough to refurbish the defense that gave up what they did to Jacksonville.
The hardest part about a rebuild is finding your quarterback. After that, everything falls into place. A good general manager, if you hire the right guy, can come in, get rid of the dead cap, and get rid of the exorbitant contracts that you need and start from scratch and start to build it over relatively quickly. It's not going to be a huge rebuild when you've already got your franchise quarterback in place. And one thing I watching Deshaun Watson constantly under pressure from a team that had 6 sacks and recorded their first third down sack of the year in that game, getting constant pressure on him was, all right, the quarterback's in place. Everything else comes down to scheme and a good general manager just trimming
you're right.
fat.
But they having a good quarterback, having your franchise quarterback is only going to take you so far. Now, you could debate Dak Prescott all you want. Is he's the franchise quarterback? I think he is. I know there's a lot of you out there that don't want to pay him. But look at Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is having an MVP-like season, but his defense is trash. Watching the Seattle Seahawks is like watching the Cowboys from a year ago, where they've got all the weapons, they score a ton of points, but the quarterback makes 1 or 2 mistakes and the defense can't bail them out, and they end up losing the game. And I see the same thing with the Texans. You got Deshaun Watson doing everything that he's doing, yet that defense gave up 400 yards of total offense to a rookie quarterback making his first start who, throws for over 300. The Jags run for over 100, and yet they still managed to lose the game. So, I mean, yeah, you can have a franchise quarterback like the Seahawks do, but if you don't invest some in your defense, and the Cowboy fans know this, Seahawk fans know this, Houston Texan fan better learn this. Deshaun can't save everything. They got that rebuild has to start on the defensive side.
Sure, but we still talk about the Seahawks as a Super Bowl team.
Who does?
Everyone talks about the Seahawks.
I think Buffalo
as
just
one
played
of
a hell of a
the
game,
best
too.
They're a
teams
Super
in
Bowl
the
caliber
NFC.
team if they can get a stop. Russell Wilson has to be near perfect with no turnovers for Seattle to win football games.
Okay, given that statement, and I think we both can agree that offense certainly gets people in the building, but of course, as they all say, defense wins titles. If you guys were the brand new general manager of the Houston Texans, you walked in and interviewed with Daddy and McSlappy. What's the new kid? What's the new guy that's going to be there for a while?
Easterby?
Jack Easterly.
He won't be there a while.
He won't
but
be there.
Easterly. Well, you
Easter
go and you
beef.
interview, and they go, "Okay, you got 12 eggs to go and barter for another player. What do you go after? Is it more offensive help because he certainly needs a little bit of help after the loss of D-Hop, or do you go in an interview saying, I can make do because I got Deshaun, and I've got to shore up my defense, and I got to spend every available dollar there? What do you do as new GM?
What do I do at first?
Yeah, James.
First move is I go and I find the coach. Whether it's an offensive guy, defensive guy, I don't care.
I'm talent acquirer. I don't
No,
care
no.
about that. I want you to be general manager. Go, what side of the ball do I spend money on? Do I help Deshaun, who's a trend, one of those players that I only get every 20 years, or do I go get defense just because I know at some point we're going to have to stop somebody? What's the fix?
Well, That's why I find out who my coach is first, because my coaching staff determines, is this guy a slap? Can this offensive line, can you coach them up to where they're good, or do we need to start replacing things on the offensive line? Is the defense, is there any parts you can work with? Is it schematic and what they're doing and why they're failing, or is it talent and lack thereof? After I find that out, once I get my coaching staff in place and they tell me exactly where my holes are in their eyes with my talent, that's when I start making moves. And
you're not running for office. You can commit to this. I'm not going to hold you to it.
But from the looks of things,
where do you spend the money? I'm just trying to figure out where you're going to put your eggs.
It's defense.
Okay,
I'm
there you
spending
go.
the money on defense once I get everything in place, because obviously there's talent on offense. You got Will Fuller, you got Brandon Cooks, you got Randall Cobb, you've got Deshaun Watson. You can find a running back anywhere in the draft. That's been proven year in and year out. Duke Johnson looks like a far superior running back than even David Johnson right now, and should be getting more reps. So you can kind of fix what's on the offense. There are problems at the linebacking core. There's problems outside of JJ on the defensive line, and there's issues in the secondary all across the corners outside of Justin Reed and Bradley Roby. So there are more holes, you would think, defensively that need to be addressed.
Hey, what did Roby do to not get on that trip?
Said something bad about somebody's mama.
Grief. No, this has nothing to do with health. We wouldn't let him on the plane.
Yeah.
Yikes, man.
He's
What
not hurt.
exactly went
It's
on
not
the
COVID.
tarmac?
And I remember seeing a tweet from McClain about how awful the secondary is with Roby, and he did something to embarrass himself, and that kept him from the game. And I was like, well, what'd the guy do? But I could never, not that I spent a lot of time looking, but I never did see
it has
exactly
yet
what
to be
did he
divulged.
do. All right.
Yeah, whoever it was involved with it, I think somebody might be getting some papers today. That was strange. And when we come back, after what we witnessed last night, was it more about the Saints and more about the Bucks? Who's the best team in the NFC? What is the best team in all of football? Lots to look at after the Patriots squeak by one of the the Steelers squeak by one of the worst. And we'll look forward to the NFL and a fine Patriots-Jets game tonight. Man, the NFL's got to be excited about this one. Hold on tight. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're your home for Rock the Mic.
Do you have a retirement plan? No matter your age or how close you are to retirement, you need a plan to make sure you don't run out of money. Jason Minnick's here for Pax Financial Group. At Pax Financial Group, they know you want to be financially prepared. In order to do that, you need trusted guidance. At Pax, they have the experience and tools to crunch your retirement numbers and get the answers you need. If you have a plan, let Pax double check all your numbers. You see, at Pax, they believe everybody deserves to be hopeful about their future. They understand why it is important for families to protect their hard-earned money, and a key reason they're a trusted financial advisor for so many families over the past decade. Connect with Pax. 210-881-5700 is the phone number, 881-5700, or go to their website, paxfinancialgroup.com, paxfinancialgroup.com. Investment advisory services offered by Pax Financial Group, LLC.
Every Thursday night at 7 after the Blitz, ESPN San Antonio brings you Down for the Count, the premier wrestling and sports entertainment talk show, featuring news and interviews from WWE, NXT, and AEW. Down for the Count, only on ESPN San Antonio.
This is for the men who never settle. The ones who refuse to let happy hour end without squeezing in one more round. The type of guys who would rather sweat from unspeakable places than stop eating the spiciest wings on the menu. And the men who still chuckle when they order their wings bone in. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Injuries happen even during a crisis. When they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, sports injuries, dislocations, and sprains and strains. With 2 locations that have extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury with no urgent care or emergency room copay. Injured? Get to Ortho Now. Visit TSAOG.com/Ortho Now for more information.
Here's Howie Long for Skechers Arch Fit Shoes. If you've never tried Arch Fit shoes from Skechers, you're missing out on next level comfort. Saying you like comfort but not trying Arch Fit is like saying you like Italian food but you've never tried pasta. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists who used over 20 years of data to create a shoe that provides total foot and arch support for all-day comfort. Arch Fit distributes support across the arch no matter what foot type you have. You don't need an arch problem to love how they feel.
See all the styles of machine washable Arch Fit shoes now at Skechers.com.
At the Home Depot, we improve things. This holiday season, we've improved Black Friday. Instead of one day of crazy, we've lowered prices now, and they'll stay low all season. From decorations to dishwashers, wreaths to ratchet sets. So sleep in. You're not going to miss Black Friday. Not one little bit. Black Friday improved. The best prices of the year already here at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only, while supplies last. See store for details.
It's the Blitz. You're on ESPN San Antonio. You're home for Rock the Mic. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be your opportunity to once again and finally meet our Rock the Mic contestants, our Dirty Dozen. About 6:15, we'll start bringing them through, and we please ask you to set aside some time, because what we want you to do is pick the one that you like. Go to ESPNSA.com and go to the Win tab there. You can open up all of the entries, and that's how you vote. You can vote every 24 hours. Now, the winner is going to become an ESPN Talk Radio host. What we've done over the last 4 years is find different positions, places of need, and also places where talent fits, and let you kind of flourish. And what we have done is actually found places in the, well, we haven't, those that have won the Rock the Mic contest, from RJ Ochoa all the way to Michael Jimenez and everyone in between, is actively employed and involved in the sports media business. This is your opportunity. We're proud of this. It's all brought to you by Alamo Cycleplex, Jim Beam, and Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. We do it every year. We want you to meet them. We'll get it going tomorrow night about 6:15. Vote for your favorites. Vote early. Vote often, but you can only vote every 24 hours, and the voting will stop on Wednesday night, and on Thursday we will get to know our finalists. In the meantime, let's look around the NFL. Last night, we thought we had us a prime football game in prime time, a battle for the NFC. We had seen Seattle fall earlier. We know what Tampa Bay is capable of. We know that the Saints at times have looked unbeatable, but last night, my goodness, I can't understand how Tampa looked so awful, or was it New Orleans just looking that good? I don't know where in between I should land today.
Well, I think Tampa just had an awful game plan going in, and, totally rattled in that game. But didn't everybody on the NBC pregame show pick Tampa Bay to win?
Well, who didn't?
I mean, just straight across the board. It was, but for New Orleans to go in and do that, by the way, in our prime picks, I was the only one that picked the Saints.
Because you were swinging for deep right field.
Yeah, I was.
You're going to have some of those this month.
Yes,
well
sir.
earned, though.
But
tip the hat.
But I didn't expect what I did. But the game plan made no sense to me. They totally abandoned the run game early. I mean, when you look at Tom Brady, only 38 passes, but as a team, 5 rushing attempts. I'm glad I did not start Ronald Jones in fantasy. They ran 5 times for 8 total yards. That's embarrassing. And 7 of that was on one run. But that too many 3-and-outs early. And when the wheels started coming off, man, New Orleans started playing well, but they're also getting better defensively. Former UTSA Roadrunner Marcus Davenport playing a huge game, even caused an interception when he deflected that pass and it got picked off. Like, everything went New Orleans' way.
Do you feel like that New Orleans is that good? Or was it a product of a bad game plan? Byron Leftwich either unable or unwilling to adjust to any kind of offense. Brady looking a step slow and a step old. A defense that seemed absolutely disinterested, that just got punched in the face consistently for 4 quarters. That last field goal? Come on, man. What kind of trash is that? Just to avoid a shutout? I hate when I see 38-3. You're like, man, this was worse than it even looked. It looks worse with 3 than it would with 0. You're like, you know what? Here's a field goal with 30 seconds left so we can save some face. No, man, throw it in the end zone. That was chicken bleep is what that was.
That game had everything. I mean, that was your annual Taysom Hill game. It's Christmas music time when Taysom Hill's having a big game like that. Jameis Winston got into the game.
That is classic. True. It's November. I forgot.
Jameis got into the game, but I think getting Michael Thomas back really helped the New Orleans Saints and Drew Brees and what they were doing. Alvin Kamara wasn't, your typical Kamara. Murray had a lot of big. That game just had everything for New Orleans. New Orleans did to Tampa Bay what I thought the Steelers were going to do to the Dallas Cowboys.
Truth, but well, first of all, you're absolutely right. Alvin Kamara is the only running back in the NFL. Even with McCaffrey and even what we were seeing with Dalvin Cook, that I would literally pay money to see. I just love watching Alvin Kamara's game. He flows. The way his running style is just a thing to behold. Around the NFL, Kansas City, how do you want to beat? How do you want us to beat you? That's Kansas City. How good did they look? And are they the best team in the NFL? Is it Pittsburgh, despite what we saw? And who are the contenders for the number one seed if we were going 1-32?
Well, Pittsburgh is undefeated, and they just find ways to beat you. Kansas City, were they toying with Carolina? Were they? I don't know. I think Carolina's pretty good, but Kansas City is going to figure out a way to win. It's interesting when you look around. Baltimore, same thing. Not a good game statistically for Lamar yesterday. Trust me, my fantasy team suffered because of his outing. Yet they figured out how to win the game, and they do it in a variety of ways. I'm still on Team Buffalo. I think the Bills have a really good football team. Tennessee, but it's still got to be Kansas City and Baltimore at the top, although I'm not taking anything away from the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Cowboys head into the bye week with a participant ribbon. Yeah, they were there. Not a whole lot to show off for it, though, but it was fun. Let's all feel good about us and gather around and talk about the good stuff that we did. Cowboys lose, but we're happy about it. We'll talk about it next year on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason and Rob here. We both love to grill, and you do. Grilling with the Blitz every Thursday at 6, brought to you by Tri-County Meat Market.
Submit your favorite recipes and grilling pictures on ESPNSA.com for your chance to win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market, the Heatner location. We'll give you a winner every week.
So what are you grilling this weekend? Grilling with the Blitz every Thursday at 6, brought to you by Tri-County Meat Market. Submit your recipe and pictures now at ESPNSA.com for your chance to win.
Message and data rates may apply. Up to 5 messages a month. No guarantee of credit score increase. TNC and privacy policy found at possiblefinance.com/privacy.
I screwed up my credit when I was younger.
I often find myself scraping by right before rent is due.
If you need cash or are looking to rebuild credit, Possible Finance can loan you up to $500 in minutes. Good credit not required. Just text LOAN to 64,000 to download the Possible Finance app.
Within an hour of applying, there was money on my debit card. Where else are you going to get money at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night?
Repay the loan in installments and change your payment date with no fee.
For someone who's building credit, this is the best. My credit score went up after the first 2 payments.
I had trouble paying, so I moved my payment 2 weeks later without hurting my score. It helped big time.
Just text LOAN to 64,000 to download the Possible Finance app and get the money you need in minutes. Text LOAN to 64,000 to download Possible Finance. Text LOAN to 64,000.
Smokey Mo's Barbecue, offering up real pit smoked barbecue smoked throughout the day. From the traditional favorites of brisket, turkey, and sausage to tender ribs to their chopped simmered in their signature barbecue sauce. They've got a lot of something for everyone. And don't forget the sides, desserts, and sweet tea. Beat the morning rush with one of their tacos or breakfast bowls, or make dinner easy with a family pack. Now 7 area locations to serve you. To find one closest to you, visit SmokeyMo'sBBQ.com. Those who know eat at Smokey Mo's.
T-Mobile for Business knows saving time and money is important for your business. That's why we're introducing Microsoft 365 on us, now included in our best business plans. With Office apps, Microsoft Teams, cloud storage, and more, Microsoft 365 on us gives you the tools you need to run your business. Stop by a T-Mobile store today. Qualifying plan required. Contactless to activate. 1 license per line, max 2 per account. Third-party terms apply. See T-Mobile.com for plan details.
You love Southern Recipe small batches, bold pork rind flavors. Whether it's their spicy dill, Korean kimchi barbecue, or pasilla chili cheese, they've got the keto-friendly protein-packed snack that crushes all others. Want to win $5,000 plus Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for a whole year? Enter at porkrinds.com right now. Porkrinds.com. Plus, you'll have a chance to win a one-on-one conversation with a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And while you're at HEB, grab a bag of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds.
I left the military with a traumatic brain injury. I came home to fight depression, anxiety, and alcohol.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Adam Greathouse, Army veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
With DAV's help, I've built a new life for myself.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is just experiencing life.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
If I learned one thing from this great game of baseball, it's that she'll humble you. You think you've got it figured out, you check the standings, and you're in last place again. I'm Eric Rubino, Fantasy Baseball GM, and I can put my team in position to win every single time, but I can't play the games, people. At least Progressive's Name Your Price tool has options based on my budget. It never lets me down, unlike my pitching staff. Amateurs!
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is Roger Staubach. You are listening to San Antonio's sports leader, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM
KCDC San Antonio. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz, which is also what happens when you eat my chili. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. He is Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. Socially distanced, as always, the O'Reilly Auto Parts mobile studios, propped up on blocks in the front yard. James Pledger producing us till 7 o'clock in the glass box of fun while wearing what very much appears to be a smoking jacket. It's not shark skin, but why I bring this up, go to ESPNSA.com or go to our Facebook feed, and there you too can see Natalie attired James Pledger.
Pledge, I mean, I was going to bring this up earlier. What the hell are you wearing? What's the print on that? Was it leftover from Halloween? Was that your Hugh Hefner look from Halloween?
I mean, I like to look good. What?
Is it kind of like an off paisley? You know, we're looking at a red blazer that appears to be
With
like shark skin. It's got a sheen to it, and it looks like
it's got a design that looks
paisley.
like it'd be in a couch,
like a paisley.
It's got like the grandma's couch design to it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just remarkably dapper for a sports talk radio show.
I mean,
this differs from which other day?
Well, I mean, but again, though, I mean, not many can pull off. I'm going to go with the sport coat over the hoodie look. I mean, that's the unusual part.
Pledge got drip. Pledge got drip. That's all we got to say. He's got the drip. He's working it on a daily basis.
He must have a bubble date later.
There are like 4 G's at the end of my swag.
Someone swipe right. Randy Guerra on our Facebook feed is coming in asking for my world famous chili recipe he might need. Randy, if I told you, I'd have to kill you. This is one of those things that, my great grandpa on late in the days, he gave. Sure. I am a 2-time San Antonio Riverboat captain, chili cook-off winner. It's one of my great pleasures and great accomplishments in my life. And if I can help along another guy, I'd be happy to. Randy, I'll get it to you.
Oh, that's pretty kind of you. Is that a Tony Stark jacket?
Of course it's Tony Stark.
Nobody ever asked me for my chili recipe. I mean, my chili recipe is easy. It takes about 3 minutes.
If you really have to ask.
Wolf brand, no beans. Let's go.
Just enough to ruin anything you put it on.
So was that first out of 3 riverboat captains, or?
We all know that if you want to find good chili, you get on a boat. We all know that. And so anybody, of course, the riverboat captains are going to have the best chili in the world. But if you're driving downtown San Antonio, I'm not, I can't divulge where I learned how to do it, but a little bit of river water never hurt anything. Let's just put it that way. gives your chili just a little bit of oomph, a little something, a little bit of extra to kick you over the cliff. This hour, we're looking at the Dallas Cowboys, and a successful outing in that no one was decapitated, and they valiantly fought to literally the bitter end, but they maintained their draft status. We said it in the last hour, the only team in the history of the NFL that is vying for a top 5 pick and an NFC East title all at the same time. And we continue as we head into the bye week. We'll look at the ramifications of a near win. Looking at the Aggies and the Longhorns, successful outings from both. The Aggies have rocketed up to number 5 in your AP poll, right on the cusp of a college football playoff. Did the Florida win help or hurt them? We'll look at that, and the huge Notre Dame win over Clemson. Man, what a great weekend of college football. Bang up games all around the bend, and we got to see some what happened in the Arizona State game, Jason? They won, right? Did they win?
No.
Oh, no. Dude, I turned the channel. They got like 4 touchdown lead and are toying around, and that somehow I just see a crawl going, they lost. How did that happen?
27-28. The USC boys put together a hell of a drive late. A deflected pass in the end zone that should be Longhorn Brew McCoy caught. Then they get the onside kick, and on 4th and forever, they throw a touchdown pass and win the game 28-27. Just a heartbreaking, gut-wrenching loss by Arizona State, who controlled that game for about 55 minutes. I mean, they were taking it to them, but they missed some opportunities early. They've got a good young quarterback who, sophomore, played a lot as a freshman. Their best wide receiver wasn't in there, and I think that affected him because he sailed some passes in times where he ran instead of trying to throw the ball. But Herm Edwards, you can't lose a game like that. I mean, they had them on the ropes. The good news is that probably sends them to the Valero Alamo Bowl, so I'm good with that. But you get a chance to beat USC on the road in the Coliseum, and you blow it late on a couple of bizarre plays.
During the part of the game that I watched, I just kept thinking how good Arizona State looked and how unique that situation is with Herm Edwards as their head coach. It's unlike any other situation in college sports, I believe, and they're flourishing. That's a program that they've got the right guys in place. They were impressive. I just can't imagine how it all fell apart late, but for 3 quarters, I was highly impressed with the Arizona State Sun Devils. I think that's
and not just
is the right guy.
Not just Herm Edwards, but all the NFL ties on their coaching staff. I mean, they are stacked. But there was a situation late with officials that, for the life of me, I haven't been able to figure out what they did. Arizona State had a play late. Now, they're driving to get within field goal range, and they got a Sendejas as a kicker who's got himself a leg. They get the catch. It's ruled a catch along the sidelines. It probably shouldn't have been a catch, but it was ruled a catch. They run another play, and then the refs go back and review the play from 2 plays before, deem it incomplete, move them all the way back to the other side of the 50, and they put time back on the clock. But I didn't think you could do that if they don't review it fast enough. I think it's just gone and lost is the normal rule. But the ref said that they buzzed down before the snap, but they didn't blow the whistle while the other play was going. I've never seen anything quite like that.
I think I would have lost my mind.
I think Herm was about to.
There's no answering that. I have no idea how you could come to me and make a new rule. We could go back 2 plays because I got up and followed the rules precisely and snapped the ball, and you're still telling me we got to go back. Yeah.
Well, again, and if it buzzed down right after the snap, why not run that play dead? I mean, they were up at the line of scrimmage ready to go, and then it buzzed down. No, we're going to look at that 2 plays ago. And you know what? The refs did get it right on the replay. The kid's foot was barely out of bounds, but still, it was ruled a catch on the field. They line up, and they run another play, and then they go back and review it. It was
they would have had to dart me. I would have had to have been tranquilized and left on it.
Because
they go back after I snap the ball and review.
Yeah. And again, at that point, they're close to field goal range. They, with plenty of time, but they did not handle that well. And their next couple of plays were a complete disaster.
How'd that former Aggie tackle do for Arizona State?
He played good. He played well. Yeah, a lot of transfers A lot of grad transfers on that Arizona State team that's going to make them good.
You can tell they play a mature style, but again, I didn't see the collapse. So anyway, maybe I thought a little bit too highly, too soon of the Arizona State Sun Devil program. And we'll look around college football here in about 30 minutes. But with the Dallas Cowboys, first and foremost, they appear to have found a backup quarterback that they, at least the players on the field, can trust. Did you get that sense that after a first couple of snaps that it was time to go play football because you felt like you were going to see a ball delivered on time and on target? And Garrett Gilbert has never been questioned about his abilities. It's just been finding the right place at the right time. Under Spurrier, I judging by what we had seen in the past and what he did in the Alliance League under Spurrier, the guy has no fear about going downfield. And I think that first and foremost helped that offense more than anything else.
And the mental toughness that he has had to deal with, keep in mind your dad played in the NFL, everything you did while in high school, the issues he had at UT, and for him to be able to just, keep at it. I mean, you're a rich kid from Austin, man. You're going after this because you love the game and you want to prove something to yourself, right? I mean, at some point, do you just say, this ain't worth it? But he has battled through so much to get that opportunity. And, when Zeke said earlier in the week, no matter who it is, will rally because they've been playing good. Now, granted, they all said the same thing about the Danucci. He was slinging it all over the field. I believe them now. They didn't say he was accurate while slinging it all over the field, but, the truest sense of the word, he was slinging it all over the field. But there is a confidence about Garrett Gilbert that as much as he's been through, he's not going to be rattled, and he believes that he can play at this level. He just needs the right opportunity, and he certainly took advantage of that opportunity yesterday afternoon. He played well.
Yeah, I mean, I felt pretty comfortable out there, and I think that's just, I think as an offense, we did a great job preparing all week. And getting ready to play against a great defense. And I felt like our coaching staff and this entire team did a great job getting ourselves ready to play. And, when you're prepared, you feel more comfortable out there. I don't know what I expected going into the first one, but it was exciting to get out there and play and get to lead those guys.
And to think for him to be, 2019, he's playing for the Orlando Apollos. And, you look at Ben DiNucci at James Madison, and the speed of the game going from James Madison to the NFL was just too much for Ben DiNucci. I was worried about first NFL real action for Garrett Gilbert and the speed of the game. But, I mean, his pocket presence that DiNucci showed zero of, the amount of times that you saw Garrett Gilbert climbing up in the pocket to step into throws, going to second and third options. I mean, he looks like he could be a legit quarterback given the opportunity in the NFL.
We heard all week that McCarthy was going to talk about, going to follow what he did in practice. You get the feeling when we talked to him on Friday with Breakfast with the Blitz that he knew, and you can read between the lines. I think we left the interview, and if you want to go listen to it, go to the audio vault brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, and you can hear it there. We left the interview thinking, yeah, it's going to be Gilbert, but the expectation and then the outcome were two different things. I wonder how much of the offense was opened up as the game went on. What do you feel like he was allowed to do a little bit more? They kept it a little bit closer. Or was that the game plan? And he went and ran it exactly how it was supposed to be run, given the situation that he was given and the parameters that a guy who's been in the system for 2 weeks can have.
Well, you didn't see the trickery that you saw with Ben DiNucci. So there certainly was more traditional offense in the playbook. I don't know how many different plays or all right, we got this play and there's A, B, and C out of it kind of situation, because he's only been in the building for 2 weeks. Right. But he didn't look like a deer in headlights. They didn't have to go, wildcat 10 times and, do, double reverse passes and do, they saved the special stuff for special teams, which on that punt return, but he looked legit and looked experienced. I'm guessing that he and Kellen Moore have spent a lot of late nights together with, these are what plays do you really like to run and that you're comfortable running. And that's what we're going to do. The fact that they went downfield a bunch, which they couldn't do with Ben DiNucci. I mean, for a guy that showed up 2 weeks ago, I couldn't have been more impressed with what we saw out of Garrett Gilbert.
Is it too soon to just give him the gig? I mean, we haven't seen
Yes.
enough of Andy Dalton, but yeah, it certainly did feel comfortable.
Well, I mean, but it's not like Andy didn't feel comfortable. I mean, Andy comes off the bench against the Giants, leads them on a touchdown drive. He didn't get to play a whole lot against the Washington Redskins. And again, you go back to, that game in Washington, they had that fumble disaster that ended up being a safety. Things are rolling downhill in a bad way. And then, of course, he gets hurt. Scrambling of all things. I mean, you can't even really blame the offensive line for Andy Dalton's injury because it was Andy taking off and running and then sliding when he got hurt. It's not like, somebody completely missed a block and he just got crushed back there. But I still think Andy Dalton is going to be your starting quarterback if you're actually trying to win football games. If you aren't trying to win football games, then I think you can continue to see what you have with Garrett Gilbert. But if you are trying to win football games, and this is where you always say, Rob, organizations tank, players don't. Jerry Jones said as much the other day on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. Do you play some younger guys ahead of some veteran guys to get them game reps? Because there's nothing more valuable from an experience standpoint than live game reps. If Garrett Gilbert is your starting quarterback, then the Cowboys are tanking and are more worried about their draft pick. If we see Andy Dalton as the starting quarterback, then they're still chasing the NFC East Championship, which at 2-7, the Dallas Cowboys are doing both. They can win the division still, and they could still end up with the top 5 pick.
We're going to talk college football here in about 15 minutes. Jeff Traylor, head coach of UTSA Roadrunners, is going to join us just a little after 6 o'clock as we look past a COVID off weekend and look forward to another game on Saturday. But before we do it and before we move on to the Texans, grade the running back play. What'd you think of Zeke yesterday? And certainly we're seeing more and more of Tony Pollard as they feel more and more comfortable with the offense. But Zeke played a role as well. Are you liking the mix that you're seeing, or is it because Zeke just hadn't lived up to the bill yet?
I don't know how bad the Zeke hamstring injury is, but he doesn't look as explosive. But he did have 18 carries compared to 9 for Tony Pollard. But Tony Pollard had not one but 2 20-yard runs in the game yesterday. Zeke has had 1 20-yard run all season. I think the defense is key on Zeke more than they do when Tony Pollard is in. I think when you see Tony Pollard, a lot of times that's a passing situation for the Dallas Cowboys that probably gives you a different defensive look. But I like having them both in there and mixing them up. I have no issue with that. But I'm not bailing on Zeke. I mean, he's still Zeke, but the offense does look a little better at times when Pollard is in there. But I think the defense is played differently when Pollard is in there expecting a pass.
How much do the coaching staff tell Tony Romo before the game? From now on, whenever you watch a Cowboy game and Tony Romo gives you his keys to the game, he's giving you the coach's keys to the game. He started the game yesterday talking about the 85 Bears defense, which I thought that is a random thing to bring up about the Dallas Cowboys, specifically given the number of yards that they have given up and all the points and all that. And I'll be damned if he didn't have a highlight within 5 minutes of them playing the 85 Bears defense inside the hash marks. I think he got fed a little info and used it. It was great, but my goodness, he good. But is he that good?
Well, he is that good. But I mean, before a game, you talk to the coaches and key players.
I know, but it was verbatim. It wasn't one of the coaching staff's keys to victory. It was Tony Romo. What are your keys to victory?
Well, your keys to victory come out of those conversations.
Okay, it's what do the greats call that? Research, and the not so greats call that theft.
Well, and again, Tony probably gets a little more out of some of those guys.
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm not upset with it, but he nailed it.
But I will say this. It's not like Tony Romo has a relationship with that coaching staff. His coaches are gone.
Well, Kellen.
Yeah.
He and Kellen, they were buds. But he described the offense, spread them out and run through them. It was there, and which, that's pretty obvious coaching 101. But the defense to bring up the 85 Bears and then show me the specific Bears 52 set. Come on, man. I'm glad he didn't speak to it before the game where the line would have changed. At least it will from now on. Coming back, looking at the Texans, Deshaun singularly gets a Jacksonville win. What does that mean for their rebuilding? And we'll look around. What is the best team in the NFL? Who's the best team in the NFC? Lots of questions. We'll talk about that in college football very quickly to follow because you are on the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners, a great locally owned, family-run business by the Townsends. You know, we've had a water softener in our house for years. I wouldn't live without one. And when you get one, you'll understand what I mean. If you don't have one, you got to call Alamo Water Softeners. You know, when we moved into this new house in January, first thing I had installed was the new water softener from Alamo Water Softeners. Had it all planned out, closed in the morning. They were there that afternoon to install it because in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. An Alamo Water Softener can extend the life of your plumbing and appliances, and you'll instantly notice the difference on your dishes coming out of the dishwasher. You'll feel the difference on your skin, hair, and clothes. Alamo Water Softeners is the best value for the highest quality water treatment. And don't just take my word for it. Go to the Nextdoor app. You'll notice the top choice for water softener companies, Alamo Water Softeners. Mention my name, receive free basic installation. You'll also get a free reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of select new Alamo Water Softeners. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. Again, the website, alamowatersofteners.com.
Follow your favorite San Antonio area high school on 210varsity.com. Instant scores anytime on any device. Upload photos and videos from the action on your school's page. Click on 210varsity.com. Powered by Hill Electric, momneedsabreakcleaning.com, and ESPN San Antonio.
The San Antonio Express News gives you access to the city, access to be in the know, access to be amazed, access to be better citizens, access creativity. The San Antonio Express News. Express your relief. Express your voice. San Antonio, be the first to know with the San Antonio Express News. Subscribe today at expressnews.com/subscribe. Get access with the San Antonio Express News by subscribing today at expressnews.com/subscribe.
Here comes Aggies, official sponsor of the college football playoff, and we're here to say it's smooth, as it meant to refresh you. We'll say the tailgates, ice now. DOSCQUIS, those Aggies that sells beer.
For your next tailgate here in San Antonio, grab some ice-cold Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. Copyright 2020.
The spread of COVID-19 is still unchecked across the nation, and you need to keep your family safe. Make a new habit and check your temperatures twice a day, once before dinner and before leaving home in the morning. You can't afford to take chances, so use the Exergen Temporal Scanner. Its accuracy is backed by more than 80 clinical studies, and it takes an accurate reading in seconds. It's the only home thermometer used and recommended by hospitals, doctors, and nurses. Quick and easy to use. You can count on Exergen to keep your family safe 24 hours a day.
Diamonds Direct's doing something we've never done before. A spectacular 7-day store-wide event with 20% off and more. Virtually everything. It's all next week, November 16th through the 22nd. This is the pre-holiday sale everyone waits for. Taken to a whole new level for 2020. Get 20% off all designer and fashion jewelry, all eternity bands, earrings, bracelets, bigger selection, lowest prices, special incentive, an extraordinary sale for an extraordinary year. November 16th through 22nd only, and only at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who refuse to let happy hour end without squeezing in one more round, the type of guys who would rather sweat from unspeakable places than stop eating the spiciest wings on the menu, and the men who still chuckle when they order their wings bone in. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Looking for a late night bite? Service industry employees receive 50% off handhelds and appetizers every day, 10 to close. Some exclusions apply.
The holidays may be the season of light, but they're also the season of long, dark nights, especially on the road. But the experts at Advance will help you get the furthest and widest down-road visibility with Sylvania Silver Star Ultra headlights. Save $15 by mail on twin packs or 2 single packs. Plus, score 100 Speed Perks bonus points with purchase. Light up the night on your way to every holiday get-together. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participate in CarQuest locations. See store for details.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
is the Blitz. Blitz is brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm, an experienced litigator. Available to you 24 hours a day. Your first call, your consultation is absolutely free of charge. Jason Thompson, his number is 210-900-4400. His website is thelawyer4us.com. So here we sit, 9 weeks in. Cowboys taking a bye week. Texans coming off a bye week. By the way, did we have word that a Pittsburgh Steeler has tested positive today?
We do. Although there was an NFL doc that said nowhere in the world have we seen COVID transfer during a game. So,
right.
But for the Cowboys, the fact that they are going on the bye, knowing that a player tested positive following the game, I don't want to say is good news, but that's relieving in the sense that they're already going on the bye. The other big news about the game yesterday that we haven't really talked about is Ben Roethlisberger hurt both his knees, had some testing done today, nothing structural, but that one play, both his knees were hurt. And they say because his foot did not get caught up in the turf, that saved him from shredding both of them. Otherwise, It would have been a major serious injury.
What do you do about that turf? It's cursed.
Well, I mean, that turf is that saved Ben's knees.
Oh, maybe.
I mean,
do you think he played possum? Do you think he was
No.
I think Ben was playing possum. I think that. And I don't disagree with the fact that he got hurt. And I think initially it did kind of hurt him. But when you're standing there, knowing every camera in the world is on you, as you're not in the huddle, he's behind the line of scrimmage, pointing to his knee, like, it really hurt my knee. I can't run. Don't let them know this, but I can't. Come on, man. He was playing possum.
I think
I'm hurt.
I think he was communicating with his sideline. Don't call certain plays. And if you notice the rest of that drive, it was shotgun snap, catch, and that ball is out. And that ball comes out fast anyway. The fact that they were able to get pressure on him surprises me. He doesn't get sacked a lot because he gets rid of the ball in a hurry. But after that, man, it was catch, turn, throw.
Awesome.
And he left. Unless he really just had to go pee at halftime. I mean, he didn't expect to get the ball back. Just saying. I think he was hurt.
I think he had a little internal distress. I think he went and visited one of his favorite restaurants or had it delivered, had a little Pizzagate stuff going on, and just had to make an early exit. It's my knee. It's really, really hurting.
No.
I've never seen a quarterback do that before. So obviously this knee is hurt really bad. I'm about to throw it way downfield. Don't bite on this. And what did he do? Right downfield and leads them in the second half. I'm not saying it wasn't gamesmanship. I'm not saying it wasn't spectacular. But I think he was playing a little bit of possum.
I mean, you want to talk cursed turf. What about the field up in Washington?
That's the next thing I want to talk about. Okay, so now we're down. We've got two quarterbacks in 3 years, that have completely decimated their leg. Is this karma?
Well, I 2 and 3 years. I mean, it's not like it's every week. I don't know. I know where you're going with
They
that.
lost two starting quarterbacks to compound fractures of their ankle. No, this is rare.
Yeah, well, I mean,
three overall.
It is bizarre. You going back to Theismann?
I'm just saying, is this karma?
I mean, it is November. It is the time for ankles to break in Washington.
You notice it's not any Native Americans breaking their leg.
I'm just saying. It seems weird. It's always on a rainy day, it seems like.
I mean, it's Washington. But again, they got natural grass. So, I mean, where's your argument? I mean, do you want natural or do you want artificial?
I'm saying whatever surface is down there is cursed. I am telling you that I've always heard, I saw poltergeist. You build a house on an Indian burial ground, bad things going to happen.
Dude,
you can change your name. They're going to change the carpet.
In my backyard that I can't get in that particular hole. 3 feet from it is another plant that looks just like it. And that one, I've had two that have died. It just won't grow there.
You know what you got there? It's called a hellhole.
Yeah,
that is a portal to another universe. Don't put another plant there.
It's
I would cover it with
because right next to it, the other plant is doing just fine. But there, put two in there, and for whatever reason, it won't grow. So yes, there is such things as cursed dirt.
You got yourself a lawn hellhole. I would build some sort of shrine just to kind of cover that up, to protect from the netherworlds jumping into your backyard. I've seen movies, man. I mean,
Cavalera?
The netherworlds, huh?
It happens. Speaking of the netherworlds, let's take a break. Let's come back and look at college football. The top 10 is out, and them Aggies is knocking on the door, thoroughly destructing South Carolina, and they had to because Florida looks good, and Notre Dame, well, they rushed the field. Let's look at college football. Great weekend. Yeah, let's hook them. 2 Texas wins. Let's give them credit. Hold on tight. We'll be right back. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You know, nobody plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. Whether it's you, a friend of yours, a family member, you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, 225-2121, or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You can even start the bonding process there online. If you go in, you don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. Of course, they are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, the Valley, anywhere in between, 210-225-2121 or online, mybestbailbonds.com.
ESPN San Antonio wants to pay for your home in 2021. ESPN San Antonio's Home for the Holidays contest. Entry and details at ESPNSA.com. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Hi, everyone. With today's Cowboys report, I'm Christy Scales. Garrett Gilbert plays well in his NFL starting debut, but Dallas comes up short in the final seconds, losing 24-19 to Pittsburgh. Details after this.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Whether you're getting ready to purchase a home, setting up a college fund for your kids, or preparing for retirement, you're working hard to live a life you love. And you deserve peace of mind knowing your home, loved ones, and future are protected. At SWBC, we can help you assess your personal situation and create a customized solution to make sure you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. Visit SWBC.com to learn about your mortgage, insurance, and wealth management options
Against
today.
the undefeated
That's
Steelers yesterday, Dallas
SWBC.com.
dominated most of the game, making his NFL starting debut. Third-string quarterback Garrett Gilbert threw his first career touchdown pass. It went to C.D. Lamb. Kicker Greg Zuerlein knocked through 4 field goals, but the Steelers rallied in the second half, aided by 2 key penalties on Jalen Smith. Gilbert had one last chance on the game's final play on a pass to C.D. Lamb in the end zone, but it was broken up.
That's what you live for as a quarterback. That's what you live for as a football player. Unfortunately, those last 2 drives, I just couldn't make enough plays for us to finish that one off. But losing sucks. It's just tough. All of us together put everything into that thing and then come up short.
The 24-19 loss puts the Cowboys at 2-7 heading into the bye week. That's today's Cowboys Report. I'm Christy Scales.
See how anything is possible when you explore your world. At Disney on Ice presents Dream Big. Join Moana on her journey to believe in herself. Celebrate Miguel's passion for music. Discover the power of love with Anna and Elsa. And be inspired by the Disney princesses. Your adventure is waiting at Disney on Ice. Coming to the Alamo Dome November 19th through 22nd. For tickets and show details, visit DisneyOnIce.com.
It's been a hell of a year, San Antonio. I'm Chip Ingram, and my bars, the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant, have been closed more than they've been open, and I didn't see that coming. Fortunately, things are getting better. 281 North is open, and football is finally here. Our kitchen is open every day till 2 a.m., and we open for happy hour at 11 a.m. And you know, as our customers say, our food is pretty darn good. So this is me asking you to help a local guy and his staff get back on our feet. Come see us at the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant at 281 North and Redland Road.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters, announces you will save on really dark window tint. It's perfectly legal to have really, really dark window tint. Mother's has it all. Light, medium, dark, metallized, color stable, scratch resistant, ceramic, and carbon fiber based films. Every tint is a custom fit tint at Mother's Window Tint. Save $100. Save on car alarms that will protect yourself and your family. 24/7 live vehicle monitoring. Remote start your car. Mother's alarm systems provide the features not found on factory alarms. Plus, Mother sells car stereos that will make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother Thump. Save $100 since 1984. Service centers in Austin and San Antonio. Check us out on Facebook or our website, motherswindowtint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
T-Mobile for Business knows saving time and money is important for your business. That's why we're introducing Microsoft 365 on us, now included in our best business plans. With Office apps, Microsoft Teams, cloud storage, and more, Microsoft 365 on us gives you the tools you need to run your business. Stop by a T-Mobile store today. Qualifying plan required. Contactless to activate. 1 license per line, max 2 per account. Third-party terms apply. See T-Mobile.com for plan details.
ESPN Radio proudly recognizes veterans in sports. Presented by Navy Federal Credit Union.
Before he was a Hall of Fame coach in the NFL and before his pro football playing career, Tom Landry left the University of Texas to join the U.S. Army Air Corps and became a B-17 pilot during World War II. Landry flew 30 combat missions, many deep into enemy territory in Europe. After serving, Landry returned to Texas and starred on the Longhorns Championship Sugar and Orange Bowl teams.
There are lots of great deals to take advantage of on Veterans Day. You might start things off with a free coffee, then grab a free burger, and finish with a free ice cream sundae. It's great to have free things for a day, but at Navy Federal, we offer resources, products, and services with benefits for a lifetime because your service inspires ours. Visit NavyFederal.org/veterans to join our growing base of 1.5 million veteran members. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA, an equal housing lender.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com, or you can go check us out live on our Facebook page. ESPNSA.com carries our live broadcast. There you'd see Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson and James Pledger up there. You want to talk to us? It's so easy to do. Lots of ways to get at us. The Twitter sphere always available at Jason Minix, at Rob Thompson, ESPN, at I Am Pledger. You can post on our Facebook page. You can give us a call on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone line, 656-3776. That's 656-ESPN to you and me. Veterans Day is just a couple of days away. Jason and I are both very proud veterans. We want to salute our veterans around San Antonio. Alamo Water Softener's Salute to Veterans is in effect. You got a couple of days to do it, and it's an awesome gift. Upload a photo and share a little something about your favorite veteran, and you can go to ESPNSA.com to do that. There you'll be entered to win a $500 gift card from Alamo Water Softeners. We want to thank all of those that proudly serve and have served our country on this Veterans Day. We salute them that have protected us, and it's a great way to offer a prize to our favorite veterans. Go to ESPNSA.com and get involved with that. The Texas A&M Aggies have reached as high as they've been in quite some time, number 5 in the AP poll, as they take down the South Carolina Gamecocks, who did not offer a whole lot. That was a thorough beatdown. That was as big a win as good a win as the Cowboys as they've had in forever.
I mean, I look at those Aggies, and I know Thursday and Friday I was telling you that, and you didn't want to hear any of it. Your battered Aggie syndrome, and I
you weren't totally confident. I mean, no one was because it is the Aggies. I mean,
if there was a game for them to go out and score 60 and offer a beatdown, it was this one. It was this one, and I thought they could do it. I was a little disappointed they didn't quite get to 60.
They could have gotten 60. They chose
could
not
have, though. Yeah, exactly, and I'm good with that because that game. Now I got to admit, after a while, I turned it off and went and found something a little bit more competitive. Only the diehard of Aggies watched that whole thing. At one point, I did get in the car, listen to a little bit of Andrew Monaco, and it was everything that the Aggies needed, especially after watching what Florida did to Georgia earlier, because that win over Florida looks even more impressive now.
Boy, Florida looks good. And I'll tell you what, 38-3, it had to be that. You were talking about going for 60. If it was anything less than a 35-point spread, Florida would have jumped A&M. But I think those that got a chance to see A&M play, and South Carolina certainly is awful. But it was a thorough beating in every facet of the football game against a very bad football team on the road. So I think they got the ranking correct. I think they probably are. But Florida's coming with a bullet. Now above them, you see what happened with Clemson and Notre Dame, which was a spectacularly played football game. I don't want to take anything away from Notre Dame. I'm not sure how much Trevor would have made a difference. I'm sure it would have been enough to probably win it, but they didn't lose it because they didn't have Trevor. They lost, Clemson did, because Notre Dame was quite frankly better in other parts of the game. I just don't know who's number one, but I do know that Notre Dame certainly deserves to be in the conversation, and I wouldn't have said that on Friday.
No, and again, I think Trevor would have made a difference. And Notre Dame, enjoy it. You snap that win streak. As much as it kind of bothered me, I love seeing those kids rush the field. I was very mixed on what I was watching there, but it's college football, and I just hope that all is okay in a week, right? But at the same time, for Clemson to go to overtime against a very good Notre Dame team without Trevor, I was surprised to see them drop as far as they did. Now, when the playoff committee meets, I don't think they're going to hold Clemson to that high of a standard. And maybe it's just, the Longhorn in me. If that had been Alabama, they would have dropped from 1 to 2, right? Yeah, don't you get that sense? Maybe 3.
I agree.
They might have dropped to 3 if Alabama, without their quarterback, had gone to overtime and lost the game. I mean, Clemson is by far the best team in the country. They're better than Alabama. They're better than what their ranking is showing right now.
The good news is it looks like it'll shake out in the wash. If they do progress as expected, they will meet in the ACC title game. But then you're looking at a couple of one-loss teams in the ACC. You don't know what Alabama's going to do. You feel like they're destined to play Florida in the SEC championship game. It is entirely possible to have a whole bunch of one and 2-loss teams coming to the very end. And at the very least, Texas A&M is there knocking on the door, but I think they're certainly in the right place at number 5. You saw what Texas did. I mean, Texas, it's too bad that they start playing after everything else, because I think they're not playing as good as they can or as good as expected. But once again, you just see the will of a quarterback and a team just trying not to lose face anymore. And it's a dogged football team. Texas might not win out, but I can tell you this, the teams that play Texas from here on out are going to feel it on Monday and Tuesday.
Texas all of a sudden is playing with a toughness that, quite frankly, I didn't know that they had. That was a much tougher game against West Virginia than most people expected it to be. But then you look around at the Big 12 and you say, well, I mean, there is an opportunity here for Texas to somehow go and play in the Big 12 championship game, because Texas Tech might be their toughest game left on the schedule. And I don't know about you Tech fans out there, both of you. Are you guys ready to fire this Matt Wells guy already?
It's over.
I mean, this guy and his decision-making is just awful.
You could just feel it. The air has left the balloon of the Texas Tech football program for this season. There's not a lot of will there. While the football program might be looking toward next year, basketball is around the corner. Tech's in the top 20. They're in the top 15. In fact, we'll tell you where they landed. Baylor in the top 5, and by some should be number 1. We'll tell you what the AP top 25 looks like, where those Big 12 teams have landed, and look forward to a fun basketball season coming up next. And don't forget, Jeff Traylor going to join us just after 6 o'clock as we look toward UTSA, see how the health of the program is after an off week due to COVID is coming. So hang around, man. We got a lot to talk about here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're your home for Rock the Mic.
Rob was talking earlier about hearing Christmas music. You see some people, including me, who have Christmas lights up already. It is time, now that we're in November, the 9th of November, to start thinking about Christmas and gifts. What about a gift for your household? Something that everybody in the house can enjoy, because, we're spending a lot more time at home, and it's winter. You're going to spend a lot more time at home, more time watching TV, more time watching movies at home. You need to upgrade your home theater experience, and you can do that by calling BSG. Not only are they the best in home security, but smart home technology. And I'll tell you what, the surround sound speaker system in my house from BSG is incredible. So this Christmas, give your household a gift that all will enjoy. You can enjoy games, movies, TV shows with the booming sound and state-of-the-art technology and equipment all at your fingertips. Every room in every house is different. BSG will come out and ensure you're getting the best sound for your room for the ultimate home viewing experience. BSG will beat any competitor guaranteed by 10%. They offer deferred payments up to 6 months, and they offer low-interest in-house financing. And BSG is a great local company. They've been in business in San Antonio over 20 years. Call 210-877-1222, 877-1222, or online at bsgtexas.com.
The ESPN San Antonio High School Football Game of the Week, energized by Hill Electric. Brought to you by Mom Needs a Break Cleaning, the San Antonio Express News, Smokey Mo's Barbecue, and the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Every Friday night starting at 7.
The healthiest patients in San Antonio are at the Institute for Functional Health. I'm Dr. Torres, and we help folks get off medications, feel better, look better, and become undeniably healthy. You've struggled with the same health concerns for a long time. It's frustrating, depressing, and nothing has worked. The good news is, at the Institute for Functional Health, we know everyone is unique, and medicine is never a one-size-fits-all solution. That's why we order specific labs to uncover the root cause of your symptoms. Your blood gives us all the answers, and we develop a doctor-supervised game plan that is specifically designed for you. Over the last decade, we have helped thousands of individuals look and feel years younger. All of us at the Institute for Functional Health are proud to say we have the healthiest patients in San Antonio, and we will help you become part of that club. See for yourself at iffhealth.com and call to schedule your complimentary consultation at 468-1891. 468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. 468-1891.
You have plenty going on. Let Mom Needs a Break Cleaning take care of your most time-consuming household chore. Mom Needs a Break Cleaning offers residential and commercial services, one-time, recurring, or move-out. Get your house cleaned before Thanksgiving and save 20% when you call 210-815-1399. With our quality assurance program in place, we will make sure you will be 100% satisfied. Call 210-815-1399. That's 210-815-1399. Or go to momneedsabreakcleaning.com. That's momneedsabreakcleaning.com.
Need a break from beer? Step over to the lighter side with the Jim Beam Highball. Is your beer selection getting a little boring or repetitive? Maybe the beer aisles don't excite you like they once did. Jim Beam is stepping in to help. Jim Beam Highballs are your alternative to beer. Break away from your habitual beer order and let the Jim Beam Highball refresh your taste buds. A lighter alternative to the heavy feeling of beer. The Jim Beam Highball, proud sponsor of ESPN's Rock the Mic 2020. Jim Beam encourages you to drink responsibly. Jim Beam Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 4% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2020. James B. Beam Distilling Company, Incorporated, Claremont, Kentucky.
This is for the men who never settle. The ones who chase their shot of whiskey with another shot of whiskey. The type of guys who can watch a 90-minute match but fall asleep in the first 10 of every chick flick. And the men who celebrate a Tuesday night like they have the next day off. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Do you love fall off the bone flavor? Try a Twin Peaks signature smoked menu item like the Carolina pulled pork sandwich or sweet and smoky ribs.
After an extraordinary year like this one, Diamonds Direct believes it's time for an extraordinary sale. So starting Monday, November 16th, our annual pre-holiday store-wide sale is taken to a whole new level with 20% and more across-the-board savings. Best prices of 2020 with an expanded selection from all our top designers. It's not 2 or 3 days. It's an entire week of pre-holiday savings. November 16th through 22nd, our first ever week-long store-wide sale. Don't miss it. 7 straight days of spectacular savings only at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Want to hear how I almost got off the naughty list this year? I helped Santa save gazillions by having him download Capital One Shopping to his computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. You can download it too and save a bundle. You don't even need a Capital One card, and it's free. So why didn't I get off the naughty list? Turns out Santa's a stickler for naughty words. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary.
It is the Blitz. You're on ESPN San Antonio. Tomorrow, join us at 6:15. Our Dirty Dozen will begin to win you over once again. Rock the Mic 2020 progresses our semifinalists. Our 12 want to win your favor and your vote. Tomorrow at 6:15, we'll have some Rock the Mic semifinalists on. Please listen and vote on a regular basis. You can vote all the way up until Wednesday night at midnight. You can vote every 24 hours. Your votes will give us our finalists, our final four, plus a wild card if required that Jason and I withhold the opportunity to bring in. And we're headed toward our Rock the Mic champion. Now, the Rock the Mic is brought to you every year by Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar. They continue to be a proud partner. I wish we could be out there interviewing and meeting all the folks on the regular. We will again with our next Rock the Mic. In the meantime, go have yourself a fine Jim Beam highball brought to you by Jim Beam. An Alamo Cycleplex, which, by the way, is offering a motorcycle to the winner of our Rock the Mic contest. All we ask of you is go look at our worthy opponents and vote for your favorite tomorrow. You'll get to know them a little bit better just a little bit after 6 o'clock. Everybody knows I'm a college basketball type. I'm a basketball type primarily, but college is my scene, baby, and we're almost there. The AP has dropped their top 25. Gonzaga is number one out of the box. First time they've been a number one out of the box since that mid-major's become a major. Led by Drew Timme, by the way, a Texas product up there at Gonzaga. Baylor returns everybody, sits there at number 2. This could be the year, my friends. This raising a trophy is highly possible and probable up there in Waco. Mulkey's had the corner on that basketball world, but Coach Drew, I think he's got him a team this year. They're as tough as anybody and smart as anybody and older than most.
And they've got an opportunity because Mulkey's got another stacked squad of winning both the men's and women's in the same year. So, and again, as bad as this football season has gone for Baylor, basketball season can't start soon enough in Waco. And they are going to be a good, fun team to watch.
AP Top 25 out today. Texas Tech, they get the recruiting class didn't quite pan out last year, though. They did the one and done factory that Lubbock is becoming is certainly still in play. They get a great transfer out of Georgetown, a kid named Matt McClung, just a scoring phenomenon. That's certainly going to help a team that brought in a couple of good, strong freshmen. They're a good team, but they're coming in at number 12. Texas makes the top 25, and I'm not sure if that's a necessarily good thing for Coach Smart, but Shaka needs to show improvement this year, and obviously he's got as much or more talent than he has had since he arrived. This is the year they're going to have to be successful, as I believe Baylor will finally knock Kansas off and take the Big 12 basketball title for the first time.
Well, what surprises me is Texas in at number 19, as you mentioned, Texas Tech at 14, but Kansas in at number 6. That's what surprises me in the early goings. I don't follow it quite like you do, but just anytime you don't see Kansas up there, it's like seeing Alabama not in the top 2 in the football poll.
Well, last year it was a down year, and certainly Coach Self has been dealing with some off the court issues for sure. Certainly, but it's Kansas. They're going to be as loaded as they ever are, and then looking at what they brought back, Jalen Wilson is going to be solid for them, along with all the rookies or the freshmen. That's a good basketball team, but I just feel like the toughness of Baylor is going to be finally going to be executed throughout a season. This was a team that I think probably could have won it last year, and it was enough to bring just about everybody back. They're defensive and solid for sure. We're going to talk with Jeff Traylor, UTSA football coach, coming up on the other side of the break. They had a game with Rice scheduled, and at the last minute, COVID reared its ugly head there at the UTSA football program, and they had to postpone the game. with this team that I really believe was desperate to get back on the field. I'm really curious how the coaching skills are being tested as you have to chunk a game plan, a preparation for a game that you really wanted, and move forward to the next. And we're very curious to see how the health is there, because sometimes that tends to linger if you ask Wisconsin.
Well, and for UTSA, and we'll get into it in a couple minutes with Jeff Traylor, this is a huge week for them for having a home game in the Dome, because it's their homecoming game. They're getting ready for UTEP. So getting healthy, obviously, and being able to play this game a little bit more important, because, they do have a home gate that they've got to look at as well.
Right.
Now, granted, if guys aren't healthy, but after that game down in Florida, and as bad as they looked, you're right, just getting back out on the field and being able to do something, and get that bad taste, to sit on that for a week, and then to go through what so many have had to. You practice all week and you get ready. Oh, we're not playing. I mean, how do you handle that? And we've heard from various coaches talk about how difficult it has been for you practice all week thinking you're going to play, and then you're not. And there are some teams that have just had this happen 2 or 3 or 4 times. For UTSA, how have they handled it? I'm sure Coach will say as best as they can, but it will be interesting to hear from Jeff Traylor coming up in a couple of seconds.
When last we saw, they get spanked 24-3. They needed a Rice game in prep, but UTEP always seems to be the cure for many things that ail you. Let's hope UTSA is going to be ready. We'll have Jeff Traylor join us just after the break. We'll also look at the Dallas Cowboys as they come off a successful outing on Sunday. While looking better, they still managed to lose a game late and maintain that 2-7 record, and charge toward either a 5th-round draft pick or a playoff berth. That's the NFC East champ. We still don't know which way they're headed, because they keep toying with us. We'll look at that, and we'll hear from Stephen Jones regarding not only his quarterback play, but the future over the break. Lots to talk about with the Dallas Cowboys, and we'll look at the Aggies, the Horns, and college football as well. I want to remind everybody again, as we head into break, go to ESPNSA.com. Our contestants are waiting for your vote. Look at all the entries. We've got our Dirty Dozen up there, our Rock the Mic semifinals. Our voting ends at midnight on Wednesday night. That gives you a chance to get 3 more votes between now and then. You can only vote every 24 hours. They desperately need it. Find your favorite. It's all brought to you by Alamo Cycleplex, Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, and Jim Beam. Sometimes you're just not in the mood for a cold beer. Coming back, Jeff Traylor joins us, looking at the college football world and more talk about Lamarcus. The weekend was one of those things I thought either the trade rumors would die, a death of just the prep for the draft that we're just a couple of days away from, or it would continue to linger. And it just seems like there's too many people talking about Golden State making a move. There's rumors coming out of there. It seems like they're shopping that pick. Do you think the Spurs will maintain that, Jason, as we head out?
Well, I mean, when you get guys like Sam Amick writing about it, that it's just not some blog site that's throwing spaghetti against the wall. We'll talk about. There's certainly something there.
Coach Traylor next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Breakfast with the Blitz every Friday morning at 7:30. Join the Blitz as they talk to Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Breakfast with the Blitz every Friday morning at 7:30. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. If you're having to rework your office, let Hill Electric design your socially distanced space to ensure each workstation has the proper electrical needs. For over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. There is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074, or go to hill-electric.com.
Smokey Mo's Barbecue, offering up real pit smoked barbecue smoked throughout the day. From the traditional favorites of brisket, turkey, and sausage, to tender ribs, to their chopped simmered in their signature barbecue sauce. They've got a lot of something for everyone. And don't forget the sides, desserts, and sweet tea. Beat the morning rush with one of their tacos or breakfast bowls, or make dinner easy with a family pack. Now 7 area locations to serve you. To find one closest to you, visit SmokeyMo'sBBQ.com. Those who know eat at Smokey Mo's.
Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds has teamed up with Coach Ditka's Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund once again, helping heroes from the gridiron who are in dire need. They'll be celebrating Pork Rind Appreciation Day by giving away $5,000 and other incredible prizes. Plus, you could win a rare one-on-one conversation with a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And let me tell you, that's pretty awesome. Enter at porkrinds.com and pick up your favorite flavor in the snack food aisle at H-E-B.
The Camera Exchange is having their biggest sales event of the year. The Camera Exchange 2020 Virtual Expo, November 20th and 21st. 2 days to save from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. in-store and 24 hours online at camerax.com. Camera Exchange will have Facebook Live demos with every vendor with raffle prizes for those who participate, including $50, $100, $200 gift cards from the Camera Exchange, $400 gift certificate towards any Tamron lens, Fujifilm N-Stax SP3 printer, Canon IV Rec camera, a tripod, and more. Check camerax.com for the schedule. The Camera Exchange 2020 Virtual Expo, November 20th and 21st. Get tax-free on all Canon products, excluding the EOS R5 and R6. Get an extra 15% off towards your trade-in. 15% off all Ceramonic products. 20% off all Litra products. 25% off all iCan products. 20% off all Magmod. The Camera Exchange, 1 mile inside Loop 410 on San Pedro. Online at camerax.com.
Dell Technologies just announced their Black Friday sale. They're releasing new doorbusters every weekday, plus up to 50% off cutting-edge tech for your business. There's no better time to upgrade your small business with the latest laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors. Plus, there's free shipping on everything. Yes, everything. Give Dell Technology Advisors a call. They'll identify the right tech solutions for your business. Go to Dell.com/SB Black Friday or call 877-ASK-DELL.
College football, it's the game you wake up early on Saturdays for, even though kickoff isn't until 7. The game where the Goodyear blimp becomes a Hall of Famer. The game that goes just beyond school spirit, fandom, or love of the sport. It's the game where the comebacks happen. It's the game where anything can and will happen as long as you have the drive, because college football is the game that moves you. We get it because it moves us too. Goodyear, more driven.
This is Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM, where the pros play.
For everything Dallas Cowboys.
KCDC San Antonio. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. Thank you so much for dialing us in. Don't mind them brake lights. We'll get you all the way home. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson, comfortably ensconced in our own O'Reilly Auto Parts Mobile Studios. James Pledger back in the glass box of fun. Well, UTSA did not lose this weekend. Although I bet they wanted to play, they had the last-minute postponement of a game due to COVID. Let's talk with the head football coach of your UTSA Roadrunners, Jeff Traylor, joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. Coach, welcome aboard. How's your Monday?
Oh, just lovely. 2020 just keeps happening.
It does. I know you had an unexpected Saturday off. Let's start with, how is the health of your team?
We're fine. I mean, obviously, whenever you can't play, it's disheartening. Our kids were crushed. They'd had a good week of practice, and to let them know that way, that late in the week is really disheartening. They came in Friday, expected to get a walkthrough and get on a bus and drive to Houston and play Rice, and we had to tell them the bad news, and that was pretty crushing, honestly.
Can you take us through the process of how you found out, and then all the dominoes that have to follow afterwards, including up to the point where you have to tell the players the game is off?
Yeah, pretty much in college coaching, there's only one night you kind of have to yourself, which is Thursday night. And I had honestly just sat down with my wife for dinner, and my trainer, when his name pops up on my phone, if it's a text, that means we all pass. I know we're good. But whenever he calls and I saw his name pop up on my phone, I told my wife, I'm like, Carrie, this is not going to be good. And the next 3 hours, I was on the phone with the president and Dr. Compost, President Amy, and Dan Bellamy and Nick Turner, our athletic training staff. Conference USA and just trying to find a way to play. There's just no way we could pull it off. We just didn't have enough.
So what's the status of this week's game? We in full speed ahead to play on Saturday?
I'd say, we're hopeful. We still got to get through today's test. We've got Thursday's test, Friday's test, and, we're razor thin right now. We're getting a couple of kids back from injury, which we hope they'll be able to go. We'll know more tomorrow morning if they can go or not. We'll know more as the week progresses. I'd say hopeful would be where I would word that.
How many positive tests?
I know I'm not at liberty to say right now because we're still waiting. I know confirmed either contact tracing or positive testing. We're at 8 right now, and due to HIPAA, I can't really identify, how many positive, but you can kind of figure it out by who's not at the game Saturday. So we got to be careful on how many positive versus contact tracing. We're at 8 right now. So it's, the deal is obviously if you say 8, with 120 on the team, you're like, hey, there's 112 kids left. What's the problem, coach? Well, it's when they hit one position. You know what I mean? That's that. And obviously the positions they practice together. They're around each other more. They're usually roommates together. So it's just an impossible puzzle to figure out how to keep everybody separated at all times.
Jeff Traylor joining us here on ESPN San Antonio, coach of the UTSA Roadrunner football game. The Rice game postponed at the last minute. I know that there was talk of rescheduling it, but certainly there are other pressing issues like the game coming up this week. As you had to kind of adjust your schedule, and certainly and I know how coaches are, they get a little fussy when the schedule gets upset. As you come into this week, what did you do over the weekend? Did you act like there was a game? I don't think you could get together. I mean, did you just everybody sit back and watch a little bit of college football on a Saturday that you didn't expect? How did you handle the weekend coming into today?
No, that's what normal people would do, but not football coaches, right? We knew UTEP, UTEP didn't play last week. So they were already working on us 1 week ahead of us. So we were already behind to begin with. So we took Friday and Saturday and Sunday and prepared for UTEP just to give our kids a great practice plan for Sunday night. And we had a great practice last night. We had to catch up because we're already behind 7 days. UTEP's already 7 days ahead of us.
Would you have said that? You've said that regardless. I mean, you were going to be down.
Well, if they'd have played this weekend, I probably would have given. Now, I did give my kids some time off. My kids got Friday and Saturday off, so they were very fresh Sunday. My coaches, not so fresh.
Man, you get this unexpected Saturday. I figured I'd hear about, you put some good meat on the grill and you kick back and you watch some football all day and just had an unexpected free Saturday. But that's not the case, huh?
Well, I got them out pretty early Saturday. It wasn't like a whole day like normal. So they got a little bit of time Friday night with their families, a little bit of time with their families Saturday night. And then Sunday morning, I let them go to church and be with their family Sunday morning. So they got, in a coach's world, if you get Friday night, that's one whole day. If you get Saturday night, that's a whole nother day. And if you get Sunday morning, that's a whole nother day. So in my mind, they got 3 days off this weekend, even though they worked every day. Somehow that doesn't sound right?
Well, Coach, most of the time you get a sudden shock probation weekend. Coaches spread to the wind, right? Don't you look at it like a chance to go do some scouting that you didn't expect to be able to do? But given the current situation, you don't even benefit for that.
No, it's just one of those years, man. It's you're so right. We are creatures of habit. But this year, the whole deal's been improvised, adapt, and overcome, to borrow a military phrase from the Marines. But no, we just have to be very flexible, and we're humans. I mean, we have feelings and emotions too, and obviously we were mad and upset, wanted to blame somebody. I think that's what we had to be very careful of. You can't; those kids already feel bad enough as it is. They've sacrificed tremendously. Who knows? I've had coaches test positive that I've never seen them without a mask on ever. The coach that I had test positive, he wears his mask everywhere. So I don't know. I think we all knew. We'd all felt better about it. I think that's what's so frustrating about this. None of us really know.
Jeff Traylor, head football coach at UTSA, with us here on ESPN San Antonio. You mentioned trying to catch up to UTEP on game prep for the game this Saturday, hoping that this game actually takes place. Now, does it matter? And follow my logic here, although I'm probably going to ask the question poorly. But, it's one thing to have a game canceled that's a road game. But when you've got a home game that's also your homecoming game, obviously, if you're going to lose one, you want to lose the road game. You don't want to lose a home game in the home gate. Does that factor at all into any of the decision-making from Dr. Campos up?
No, sir, not at all. And President Amy, Dr. Campos, including myself and our training staff, it's strictly about the health and safety of the kids. If we don't have enough kids to go out there and play, and you're going to risk other kids getting injured, we just can't do it. Obviously, a first-year coach, new program, I want to play every single weekend. That's why you have trainers. That's why Dan Bellamy and Nick. I don't get to make those calls. I mean, those are decisions made by Dan and Nick, and it should be. From concussions to injuries to COVID to contact tracing. It's good for me to be removed from that. And I know Dr. Campos and President Amy very, very well, and they're going to always be about the health and safety of our kids.
As it continues, UTEP on the docket now. If, in fact, this game should go off, tell us a little bit about UTEP.
I know it sounds like coach talk, but they're very, very much improved. They're 3-3, so they're off to a really good start. Their kids are playing very confident. The quarterback's got a big arm. He can throw the ball all over the yard. They've got two really good wide receivers, two good O-linemen, two good backs. When I say two good O-linemen, two guys that jump off the screen, that they're really good. The other three are big, solid kids as well. Defensively, they're very improved. They're just a much better football team. You can just tell they're playing with a lot of confidence. Winning always breeds that. I just got through having to meet with our staff. I think it'll be a great ball game Saturday.
Well, and you look at, obviously, a good afternoon game, a homecoming game, and you want to get out there and you think about that last game you had down in Florida, and you told us a week ago, you just wanted to get that taste out of your mouth. Now you've had to sit on that one for an extra week. I imagine it's not going to be a good day to beat UTEP.
Well, I know we practiced very physical last week. We had three padded workouts. We went Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We padded up again last night, so we've gone pads 4 times in a row now. Not the time of year you'd like to do that. We just didn't tackle very well. It's the only time all year we didn't tackle well. We didn't protect our quarterback. But I want to make a soft bet for my kids here. Giving them Friday and Saturday off, that's the first time since June the 1st those kids have had any time off at all. I mean, none. They've had volunteer workouts since June. Usually you get a couple of days off for July 4th. They worked all the way through that on volunteer workouts. They worked all the way through July, August, September, October. Now we're into November. Those kids needed a couple of days off. I'm sure my coaches did too. They just weren't so lucky.
But they got 3 days off. You just told us that.
They got Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday morning. I'm glad somebody's on my team. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. They got 3 days off. If you get an hour to yourself, that counts as a whole day.
And you're a football coach. Come on. How bad could it be? As Coach Jeff Traylor joins us.
We get paid to coach football.
No kidding. You get to live the dream. Hey, Coach, it's never fun, but it's also lots of fun. Jeff Traylor joining us on the Blitz as he does every week. Let's look forward to a game with UTEP in the Dome with as socially distanced as full as possible in the right color orange win. Birds up, Coach. Thanks for joining us this week. Good week of practice for you.
Thank y'all. God bless. Birds up.
Jeff Traylor joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. You hear a coach who's I just want to play football. Will somebody cut through all this and just let us go play football? I've never heard a coach we just want to play. That's all we're asking.
And again, I mean, you can't blame. You can't blame anybody for COVID.
No.
I mean, you just can't. But and he just said it. When the phone rings, versus a text. You know before you answer what's going to be there, and then having to deal with it. And then your first thought was, what? Well, that kid, who? What? But you can't blame them because I mean, you just can't. That's the weird thing about this COVID. And then you go through all the protocols, and it does come down to position groups. You don't have enough to go play.
And you get the feeling that's indeed the problem. There's a room that is positive. And if you don't have the position, it's very difficult to play.
If we're at 8 between the positive and the COVID tracing, and I don't know how many of the 8 are actually positive tests or just you've been in the same room with somebody. you look at position groups and who's got 8 in a room. But again, you can't go play without them. I mean, it's hopefully this game this Saturday gets to go off.
It's 2020. When we come back, let's look at the Cowboys. They didn't win, but they fought valiantly in defeat. Not quite getting it completely done. Coming into the bye week, expectations for change, future quarterback starts, and we'll hear from the players. Let's talk some Cowboys next, right here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you're looking for authentic sausage, the kind you could find in butcher shops back in the old days, then Kielbasa smoked sausage is what you've been looking for. At Kielbasa, they make their sausage like it was made back in the old days in small 150-pound batches, fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They don't add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. So when you buy Kielbasa brand sausage, you know you're getting the best, most authentic smoked sausage out there. And if you get into HEB by tomorrow, because this value meal, value pack special runs through the 10th tomorrow at HEB. You buy the Kielbasa Value Pack smoked sausage for free. You're going to get the HEB Texas barbecue beans, the HEB mixed tortillas, the HEB new barbecue sauce, and a 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper. So, I mean, you think about that meal deal from HEB. Boy, you get in there, either go in at HEB tonight or make sure you get it there tomorrow. That runs through tomorrow. You definitely want to take advantage of that. You also want to take advantage of a Thanksgiving favorite. At Kielbasa Smoked Meats, they have their Kielbasa smoked hams. They slow smoke their hams for legendary flavor, exclusively available at Kielbasa's headquarters down on Brazos Street. So you can call Kielbasa at 1-800-456-LINK, 1-800-456-LINK, and reserve your ham. They'll be ready for pickup the week of Thanksgiving. They are fantastic, but you can only get those hams at their headquarters down on South Brazos Street. The great sausage, get into HEB and get some of that Kielbasa sausage today.
The ESPN San Antonio High School Football Game of the Week, energized by Hill Electric. Brought to you by Mom Needs a Break Cleaning and by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Every Friday night starting at 7.
Injuries happen even during a crisis. When they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, sports injuries, dislocations, and sprains and strains. With 2 locations, they have extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury with no urgent care or emergency room copay. Injured? Get to Ortho Now. Visit TSAOG.com/Ortho Now for more information.
This is for the men who never settle. The ones who refuse to let happy hour end without squeezing in one more round. The type of guys who would rather sweat from unspeakable places than stop eating the spiciest wings on the menu. And the men who still chuckle when they order their wings bone in. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters, announces you will save on really dark window tint. It's perfectly legal to have really, really dark window tint. Mother's has it all: light, medium, dark, metallized, color stable, scratch resistant, ceramic, and carbon fiber based films. Every tint is a custom fit tint at Mother's Window Tint. Save $100. Save on car alarms that will protect yourself and your family. 24/7 live vehicle monitoring. Remote start your car. Mother's alarm systems provide the features not found on factory alarms. Plus, Mother sells car stereos that will make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother Thump. Save $100. Since 1984. Service centers in Austin and San Antonio. Check us out on Facebook or our website, motherswindowtint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Diamonds Direct's doing something we've never done before. A spectacular 7-day store-wide event with 20% off and more. Virtually everything. It's all next week, November 16th through the 22nd. This is the pre-holiday sale everyone waits for. Taken to a whole new level for 2020. Get 20% off all designer and fashion jewelry, all eternity bands, earrings, bracelets, bigger selection, lowest prices, special incentive, an extraordinary sale for an extraordinary year. November 16th through 22nd only, and only at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
What's in store this holiday at your local Staples?
Great deals on the hottest brands.
Staples has this year's must-have gifts for working or learning from home.
Like Apple AirPods, great for video conferences or online classes.
And now at Staples, Apple AirPods Pro are just $194. You save $55.
Shop in-store or pick up curbside.
Get the most wonderful deals on gifts this holiday at Staples.
Ends 11/14. In-store only. Limit 2 while supplies last. Curbside available in most stores.
What can help you take advantage of today's low mortgage rates and save money? Rocket can. You could save hundreds of dollars every month by refinancing with Rocket Mortgage at today's near historic low rates. If your current rate is over 4%, you could lower your payment by over $150 a month, saving thousands in interest every year. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Savings are based on Quicken Loans. Internal rate and fees may apply. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS-ConsumerAccess.org. Number 3330.
Let's get wild. It is the Blitz. You know, we had Coach Jeff Traylor on just a second ago of the UTSA Roadrunner program. You miss any of the Blitz, you can always go to the Audio Vault brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. There at ESPNSA.com to catch up on anything you missed. And we didn't bring up the fact, this is big news coming out of the football program, the athletic department out at UTSA. There's going to be an endowment set up with Larry Coker's name on it, the founder, the initiator, the George Washington, if you will, of the UTSA football program. I think that is very worthy for a guy who broke ground on a program that so desperately needed a man like Coker to offer his credibility to this program, national champion starting it up here at UTSA. A worthy thing to do.
It really is. In fact, I meant and have it written down to ask Coach Traylor about it, but, you know, we kind of got sidetracked on other things. And from what I understand, Coach Coker is doing really well. You know, he is the father of UTSA football, and it's cool that they are going to honor him with this. Of course, they want you to donate to it as well. It's crowdfunding.
It is, in fact, a university. And they don't pay for anything themselves. I think I paid for. I think when I was at my university at A&M, I paid for a building that I think was built at some point 10 years later. I think that somebody actually got to use it, but it was delineated on my bill every year.
The Rob Thompson Porto Potty.
That was nice. That's something, you know, my father donated that to get me into Blinn. He sent a porta potty with a brass. The Thompson and Porta. Anyway, this is the thing that is beguiling and wonderful and awful about the Dallas Cowboys. There's always a reason for hope. Are the Cowboy fans the only fans on the planet that after when victory was literally snatched away from the Cowboys late, when a team overlooked them and they did everything right to still lose, they had the opportunity to go get a win. They didn't get it. Yet, I think Cowboy fans all exhaled and went, well, that wasn't so bad. In fact, that was pretty good.
Well, it's you played well. You didn't embarrass yourself. And you didn't jack with where you are in the chase to get a top 5 draft pick.
How many franchise celebrate? Well, you didn't embarrass yourself. Because literally in the post game, from all the players, even to Steven and Coach McCarthy, to a man, that was a pretty upbeat game, despite the fact they lost in such typical Dallas Cowboy fashion yet again. But here we sit into the bye week, 2-7, and the future looks relatively okay.
Well, I mean, you're not celebrating a win. Or celebrating a loss if you're inside that locker room. But I think there is a sense of relief that you can get from Mike McCarthy that, you know, what they see at practice, and they showed that they can be a good football team, and that you want to celebrate. You know, you didn't win the game, and there's no moral victories. I believe Zeke is the one that quickly said that. But they played well, and you know, as Mike McCarthy said, you know, they're showing that they are moving in the right direction.
He's saying it very quiet.
I just focus on what we do every day, and it's just today's a reflection of what we're capable of doing. Just as I
spoke to the football team. We need to continue to focus on the things that we can control, the plays that we can control. We clearly understand it comes down to, only so many plays each and every week determine whether you win or not. So, and that's what we'll continue to do. So I think the understanding of what we're, how we're playing and how we want things done, you can see it building throughout the preparation phase. You can see it building on the practice field. And I think we're definitely taking the steps in the right direction the last 2 weeks, as far as the understanding, the speed, we're trying to get things done. So we have a bye week. We'll spend time in the self scout of it all, both individually for the players and obviously all 3 phases. And, we'll get loaded up because it's time. We got to get going. Obviously we're running out of, everybody knows what our record is. So we need to get going. Yeah, we need to start stacking wins.
They got to start stacking wins. And, when you look at the NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys at 2-7 are just a game back of Philadelphia at 3-4-1. Washington's at 2-6. The Giants are at 2-7, but the Dallas Cowboys are a game back. That's it. They're just a game out of first place. So when you look at the schedule coming off of the bye week, now it ain't an easy schedule for the Dallas Cowboys, but if they play like they did yesterday, could they get some wins? You come back after the bye, you got Minnesota. If you can figure out how to stop Dalvin Cook, Minnesota's been an up and down team. Then you get the football team again. Then you get the Ravens. Ravens will destroy Dallas, but then Cincinnati, San Francisco, Philadelphia, New York. I mean, if they win those 3 NFC East games, is all it takes. If they get 3 wins against those NFC East teams, they're going to be right there at the end. How bizarre is that?
Well, that's the NFC East as we sit now. In the 2 weeks before we see the Cowboys play again, or slightly less than that, do you expect any coaching staff changes? That you think Nolan has got this defense turning the corner? I don't think that the upheaval is much with Nolan anymore. They seem to be buying into it. Fossil, we had some issues earlier with some questionable special team stuff, but he's become a daredevil, and I think we need some daredevil special teams calls like we see every game, quite frankly. I fully expected coming into the Pittsburgh game that they were going to get pasted. They were going to wake up and go, even though they might be getting better defensively, we're not headed in the right direction. We're going to change that. That's not going to happen. So the Cowboys have found kind of this comfortable niche of being, well under 500, headed toward a high draft pick, but maybe a playoff berth is in the offing. Is this the way you think the season will end, that just being respectable is enough, not embarrassing the fans is enough, as long as they look competitive and are headed toward a high draft pick?
Well, I mean, if the defense shows some improvement, I mean, let's face it, with all these injuries, you're not – nobody with a fair mind is going to put all this on Mike McCarthy. When he took the job and when you're getting ready for the season, you think about that offensive line that you have in place, a healthy Dak Prescott, all those weapons. I am disappointed in the defensive play, but the last 2 weeks, the defense has played well. That Gallimore kid looks pretty good. I mean, Jalen's got a high motor. He just does stupid stuff. But even yesterday, that penalty, that was dumb. I mean, I don't know what was called there, and it doesn't get called evenly. They did a horse collar on Gilbert, and they didn't call that when they sacked him. But that little hit to Ben's head, that shouldn't have been a penalty. But the defense is playing better.
Grade the cornerbacks. What'd you think of Brown and Diggs?
High D.
I would have given them more than that, man. I thought that they were pretty effective. I mean, Claypool is Des Bryant reborn. That guy reminds me in his game, in his mannerisms, even the way he catches the ball reminds me of Des. That was a big ask. And wow, they tried to go downfield an awful lot. And, some of them, I felt like they kind of gave the Cowboy defensive backs the benefit of the doubt. I saw a couple of DPIs that weren't called, but I think they were tested, and Diggs is growing into the position. And Anthony Brown, while he'll defend you well, ain't never going to get a turnover. Hell, the ball could hit him in the hands. He wouldn't know what to do with it. But I think that the cornerbacks have improved. I know that Diggs has been a whipping boy and has had to play a whole lot more than he has probably needed to play or deserved to play. But the guy is rounding into form. And what I'm liking about his game is he will hit you. He will step in and hit you. Now, there is a little bit of a dinged up issue. I think he kind of hurt his foot. But I thought the cornerbacks, as far as the entire defense, they improved more than any other position group.
Well, I mean, you're on the bottom rung. I mean, to go to the next rung. I mean, I just I still can't give him. I mean, what do you give him, a C? I gave him a D. I mean, you're certainly not going to give him a B or an A minus.
Well, no, but I think, and while I say that, they certainly get benefited by having an interior defensive line that did, in fact, collapse the pocket, that made Roethlisberger nervous, even though I will go to my grave believing he was playing possum. I think he was kind of hurt, but that was all to get his team mustered and ready to go. That walk-off, I'll be in the locker room, boys, getting this all checked out. Y'all hold down the fort. And then the way he came in and played in the second half with no brace, no nothing, just a kiss on the knee, and everybody get better. It was grandstanding. And, the thing that sucks is it worked.
Well, I mean, and it does. But I think that's maybe one of the reasons why I'm not giving the secondary a higher grade. I mean, it was one of their better games, right? I mean, but again, from what? But Pittsburgh gets the ball out so fast. I mean, they, boom, boom. I mean, there's a reason Ben Roethlisberger doesn't get sacked a bunch of times. And, part of it is he's hard to sack because he's big, but two, he gets rid of the ball so quick that, if he were to dance around out there for 3 or 4 seconds, those guys would come open just because the Cowboys defense isn't going to cover. And quite frankly, at the end of the game, when the tight end jumped over the defensive back who dove underneath him, I'm dropping you a letter grade just for that poster that you made yourself for the Steelers on the go-ahead touchdown.
Well, certainly. But they were tested, and they passed the test early. I think Pittsburgh came in with a game plan of, we can beat these corners. Let's go deep. And they tried repeatedly. Now, they were successful a couple of times, but I think that took them completely out of their offense when that wasn't effective. And they were surprised, I think, by the interior rush. And I think that made, even though they're getting the ball out quickly, that defense surprised the Steelers. And Tomlin kind of had to rely on a bag of tricks and a couple of daring calls, especially going forward on fourth, even though it didn't work, to get them out of there. Whether it was Roethlisberger playing possum or whatever it took, it was everything they had to give to play a team that was just desperate to get a win and still walked out with a fair amount of, well, we gave it the old college try and we're going to get a couple of weeks off. I'm surprised at our demeanor, though. I'm not shocked that we accepted that, though. It was still a typical Cowboy win, our loss. It's just the old style, not the new style. They just ripped our heart out later.
Yeah, they did. And again, the fact that we got from embarrassing loss to our traditional Cowboy heartbreak loss, I think is a step up. And the officials, you're playing at Jerry World, but, TJ slapped Gilbert in the face and there was no penalty. There was just a couple of calls that I thought, and again, I was glad I was getting back to that point because it'd been a long time since I'd gotten mad at the end of a Cowboys game. I mean, that was one that they had.
They had them. They were overlooked and they were challenged, and they just came a little bit short, though. Garrett Gilbert, we needed a hero. You were right there. Maybe 2 weeks later, we will find out if, in fact, you are that guy. Coming back, Aggies and the Horns, they win. Notre Dame does too. Clemson falls precipitously. Let's look at the AP top 10 and around college football as we welcomed the MAC and the Pac-12 to the party. We'll look in at what happened to Arizona State and and figure out where the standings should be as we come into
my Sun Devils.
I'm just saying, man, I was really excited until I wasn't. College football next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're your home for Rock the Mic.
Injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, sports injuries, dislocations, sprains, and strains. They have 2 San Antonio locations, extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray casting and bracing. They have everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. High school athletics in full swing with basketball getting going. Football's obviously already going. Saturday morning, you get straight to that orthopedic specialist. So if you're injured, get to an Ortho Now. To learn more, go to tsaog.com/ortho now. Again, tsaog.com/ortho now.
Love the Saturday morning hangover? Well, watch along every Saturday morning from 9 to 11. You can watch the show live at ESPNSA.com or on the ESPN San Antonio Facebook and YouTube pages. Search ESPN San Antonio and subscribe.
This ESPN San Antonio Sports Center update is brought to you by Alamo Water Softeners, 274-6122.
You have plenty going on. Let Mom Needs a Break Cleaning take care of your most time-consuming household chore. Mom Needs a Break Cleaning offers residential and commercial services, one-time, recurring, or move-out. Get your house cleaned before Thanksgiving and save 20% when you call 210-815-1399. With our quality assurance program in place, we will make sure you will be 100% satisfied. Call 210-815-1399. That's 210-815-1399. Or go to momneedsabreakcleaning.com. That's momneedsabreakcleaning.com.
Do your dishes come out of the dishwasher with spots all over them? That is the rock in your water sticking to the dish. It's not something you want to eat or drink, is it? Call 210-274-6122. That is Alamo Water Softeners, a great locally owned, family-run business. The Townsends are from here. They started the company here, and they've been changing the San Antonio water treatment industry one happy customer at a time. Remember the Alamo Water Softeners, 210-274-6122 or alamowatersofteners.com.
Javier's Auto Body is colliding with a shortage of licensed techs.
That 2017 is waiting on a clear coat, that 09 needs its left rear sanded, pounded, and painted, and the guy over there is waiting on an estimate.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Message and data rates may apply. Up to 5 messages a month. No guarantee of credit score increase. TNC and privacy policy found at possiblefinance.com/privacy.
I screwed up my credit when I was younger.
I often find myself scraping by right before rent is due.
If you need cash or are looking to rebuild credit, Possible Finance can loan you up to $500 in minutes. Good credit not required. Just text LOAN to 64,000 to download the Possible Finance app.
Within an hour of applying, there was money on my debit card. Where else are you going to get money at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night?
Repay the loan in installments and change your payment date with no fee.
For someone who's building credit, this is the best. My credit score went up after the first 2 payments.
I had trouble paying, so I moved my payment 2 weeks later without hurting my score. It helped big time.
Just text LOAN to 64,000 to download the Possible Finance app and get the money you need in minutes. Text LOAN to 64,000 to download Possible Finance. Text LOAN to 64,000.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Smoothbrook, Illinois.
With United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, there's so much to take advantage of, like $0 copays on primary care doctor visits and lab tests.
Wow.
Plus $0 copays on virtual visits.
Wow.
It's time to take advantage.
Wow.
To learn more, visit AdvantageWow.com. That's AdvantageWow.com.
Benefits vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Wow.
It is the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're your home for Rock the Mic. We'll have a Rock the Mic contestants joining us tomorrow and Wednesday. Looks like more on Wednesday than tomorrow, but it is what it is. Make sure you are going to ESPNSA.com on a regular basis, at least every 24 hours, so that you can vote for your Rock the Mic champion. We have our Dirty Dozen up there for you to see. We want to have your help, and the only way we can get there is with your vote. So get there, and you're going to get to meet them over the next couple of days. It's all brought to you by Alamo Cycleplex and Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar. Jim Beam.
Can we talk about this for a minute? Yeah, I mean, you know, for the Rock the Mic people that are listening, you're 12. Everybody except for, I believe, 2 have chosen Wednesday. I don't understand the logic there. I really don't. Is it like
the votes
campaigning
in Wednesday at midnight?
So
you want to meet them.
Are they going with, let's campaign in Pennsylvania on election day to see if that gets over the hump, or do you want more time for people to hear you and then vote for you using the power of social media? I don't understand the logic with everybody choosing Wednesday.
Well, seeing as you can only vote once every 24 hours, if I can get one in on Wednesday that carries over to Thursday and get both days votes, then that's better for me.
It's all.
Well, when does
it's a
voting
crapshoot.
end?
Wednesday night at midnight.
Wednesday at midnight.
So, Pledge,
Vote
your
on
idea of
Thursday
a
ain't gonna
Thursday
help.
vote doesn't matter.
No.
The
Getting a
polls are
Tuesday
closed.
vote at 6:15, and then 6:15 tomorrow, they can go back and vote for them again. They can get 2 instead of 1.
I don't
See, we
understand
can't
some of the
tabulate the
logic here.
votes until the polls close. Then we got the mail-ins, and we got some provisional ballots we're going to have to deal with. I got a lot of the old promotions.
What
crew
about the
coming in to
fake
count.
ballots?
And then we got the
Well.
fake ballots, and then we have the wild card, which in fact not only is a move
get
that
to burn
Jason and
any
I can
ballots?
to bring in our fifth, but it's also a fine drink. So I've been told Jim Beam has a wild card drink that we're going to learn how to make and
By the
celebrate
way, I
the
drank
wild
all
card the
y'all
way they
stuff
should
over
be.
the weekend. Sorry.
Not surprised. Lord knows, though, if everybody's going on Wednesday, we're going to need a drink to get through it.
It's going to be a long one, but we sacrifice our bodies for the team as we should. Hey, the Aggies, they sacrificed their bodies to a 38-3 win. The University of Texas, them fighting Longhorns. Let's what's
Well,
that?
we're talking about sacrificing. When you're watching the Aggie game, that loud rooster that they play there in an empty South Carolina stadium, can we sacrifice that thing? Can it go away?
There's a lot, as A&M slowly becomes part of the family of the SEC. South Carolina's been one of those teams that we've played more regular than others. They've become our counterbalance on the SEC East. And that school is a lot like A&M. I mean, certainly the personalities mesh quite well, but that chicken's got to go, man. That's a strange one. I won't get that one.
And again, I don't know that I've noticed it quite like that, but in that empty stadium, and even the way they sat all their people, because they were all 6 feet apart, but all in a straight line, because there was. I was trying to figure out what their COVID plan was with the seating chart there. Does it not go north south? Does COVID only spread east west? I didn't understand what they were doing there. That was strange, wasn't it?
It was strange in a lot of ways, but everybody's got the rules. I don't understand. Just follow the rules that are in place. We'll do our best. A&M wins handily, and luckily that they did, because Florida looks to be one of those teams that is improving by the week. Is looking better and better, that win that A&M got over Florida. But the Clemson loss, I think Jason and I found the strangest, because on one side of the coin, you can legitimately say Notre Dame deserved to win that football game, that they did everything that was supposed to do. They were going against a young quarterback in Ugalele, but my goodness, the guy can't play. I don't think he lost the game. But the absence of Trevor, and you want to talk about bizarro COVID restrictions, he can stand on the sidelines. He can hang out amongst his team, yet he can't go put on a helmet and play the game. Okay, I mean, the rules are the rules, but to watch Clemson fall the way that they did, knowing full well that they have the man-child, the next on their team that couldn't play, it seemed a little brutal. Is that more about a little bit of Dabo, a little, we're just a little tired of Dabo and the Clemson types, or was it more about maybe they're just not as good and Notre Dame isn't as good and rightfully Clemson fell?
I mean, Clemson had the fall, but watching that, if it were Alabama losing to Notre Dame, I don't think they would have dropped to 3. They might have dropped from 1 to 2, maybe to 3 in a situation like that with your star quarterback out. And again, if Clemson had got run off the field, if they had lost by 2 touchdowns, yeah, maybe I could see that. But Clemson showed they're a really good football team with or without Trevor Lawrence. And there were some things in that game that, maybe it doesn't go to overtime. If Clemson had won outright, my goodness. But, just all of it. I was surprised that Clemson dropped all the way out of the top 5. I mean, even your dog isn't happy that that Clemson dropped out of the top 5.
No, what happened was my dogs have been trained that whenever you say Notre Dame, they bark in anger, because of course, Notre Dame got to host Clemson in this weird schedule at home in the cold, minus their quarterback. Of course, Notre Dame got that. Doesn't Notre Dame get that about every 5 years? A gift-wrapped slump bust, a gift-wrapped streak break, where, it's always Notre Dame. Other schools don't get Clemson minus that on the road on prime time. You knew immediately Notre Dame was going to win that game just because it's Notre Dame and they're going to be insufferable. They're going to talk about the win. They're not going to bring up the fact that the greatest player in college football for the last 3 years wasn't playing, and they won't bring up the fact that it went into overtime. They won the game and they broke the streak. Congratulations.
And they did. And then, of course, they stormed the field. Now they've everybody is getting tested up there. And again, even A&M. A&M today had to shut down practice because of a player and a student worker that was traveling with the team tested positive. Alabama, LSU this week is in jeopardy because of LSU positive tests. I think Auburn, Mississippi State, did they already cancel? It's going to be an interesting week in the SEC when it comes to COVID. Even at the high school level, Judson Smith Valley this week has been postponed because of COVID.
The NFL is going to have to decide very quickly what they're going to do with that 18th week. You can just feel that they might start having to prepare for that now because more and more positives. There's a Pittsburgh Steeler that tested positive after the game, although it has not been proven to be transmitted on the field. We have not heard of that yet, though that is going to be an ongoing concern. In fact, we'll look at that, the NFL, as we sit at the end of week 9, and to look forward to what the NFL thought they might have a real game when they put this schedule together. But we do have the Jets and the Patriots, and some of us might actually watch that game. We'll talk about that as we get ready for it. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. We're your home for the Big Score. You know, as you woke this morning, did you feel healthy? You know, I've been going to the Institute for Functional Health for over a year now. I met Dr. Torres back last September. And, you know, I've never met a physician that was so eager to get you off medication. Most of those guys, you know, they can't wait to give you something new, something to try because they just met with a representative from one of those drug companies and they're just eager to get it done. That is not what the Institute for Functional Health is about. I've never met a physician more eager to get you off every possible pill because what Dr. Torres understands, and it's in the name, functional health, involves not medications, but taking care of the functional health that you can control. And the primary thing you could do is keep yourself in physical shape and monitor what you put into your body. Now, there's certainly lots of ways to go on a diet, and I didn't want to go on a diet. And when I met Dr. Torres, we didn't talk about diets. We talked about a lifestyle change. How can you make yourself feel better, live better, lose weight without being on medications and get off some of the medications that you might be on? Well, first and foremost, think about what you're putting in your body, and then think about when and how you're eating it. And after that, well, the weight will start taking care of itself. And it's remarkable how that happens. If you're tired of being tired, if you're sick and tired of dealing with those aches and pains of getting old and carrying too much weight, losing it seems like, just a diet away, but diets don't work. One size fits all is not such a thing. You deal with a medical professional, you deal with a doctor, you'll have a program put together specifically and only for you, monitored by medical professionals and doctors as you progress through the program. A year later, what can I say? Down nearly 40 pounds, feeling better than I have in a long time. Do I fluctuate? Do I bounce a little bit? Yes, I do. But I know this. I'm not on any medications. My doctor says I'm healthier than I have been in years. That can happen for you. I want you to call Dr. Torres. Here's the number you need, 210-468-1891. Again, 210-468-1891. Their website is the instituteforfunctionalhealth.com. Go there right now. Prove it to yourself. Take the functional health test. You'll see what I mean. Meet Dr. Torres. He'll put together a program for you. And before you know it, you're going to have that beach body right in time for Christmas. Well, it won't be that soon, but you will feel better sooner than you could believe. It's the best thing I've ever done. I want that for you. It's time to start living a better life. Call Dr. Torres, and I am sure you will thank me later.
Dallas Cowboys football is on ESPN San Antonio and 102.7 Jack FM.
Zeke Elliott walked all the dogs.
Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, New Bricks Mobile Brake Repair, Alamo Water Softeners, Ewald Kubota, The Root Pump, and the Agri Elephant.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Smokey Mo's Barbecue, offering up real pit smoked barbecue smoked throughout the day. From the traditional favorites of brisket, turkey, and sausage to tender ribs to their chopped simmered in their signature barbecue sauce. They've got a lot of something for everyone. And don't forget the sides, desserts, and sweet tea. Beat the morning rush with one of their tacos or breakfast bowls, or make dinner easy with a family pack. Now 7 area locations to serve you. To find one closest to you, visit SmokeyMoe'sBBQ.com. Those who know eat at Smokey Moe's.
Go to Total Wine, you'll save more. So many wines and spirits galore. Down through the aisles with corks to pop. Ask for friendly advice while you shop. Oh, so much to explore. Oh, so many to pour. Holiday cheers, clink, clink, clink. Get everyone their favorite drink.
With thousands of wine, spirits, and beers at always low prices, Total Wine & More is your savings wonderland. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
In a world that still calls for your touch, the You by Moen Smart Faucet answers without it.
Moen, wash my hands.
Only one faucet allows you to create hundreds of presets that deliver the exact amount and temperature you ask for. You by Moen, the only faucet you never have to touch. Water designs our life. Who designs for water?
Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters, announces you will save on really dark window tint. It's perfectly legal to have really, really dark window tint. Mother's has it all. Light, medium, dark, metallized, color stable, scratch resistant, ceramic, and carbon fiber based films. Every tint is a custom fit tint at Mother's Window Tint. Save $100. Save on car alarms that will protect yourself and your family. 24/7 live vehicle monitoring. Remote start your car. Mother's alarm systems provide the features not found on factory alarms. Plus, Mother sells car stereos that will make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother Thump. Save $100 since 1984. Service centers in Austin and San Antonio. Check us out on Facebook or our website, motherswindowtint.com. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
It is the Blitz. Welcome aboard. I hope your Monday was as good as your Sunday or better. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. James Pledger taking us just a couple more minutes as we put a bow on the show. We got the Monday Night Football game. You gotta play what's on the schedule. You got to put them on TV. And the Jets and the Patriots are going off tonight. I do think that this is kind of a referendum game for Cam Newton.
It's got to be. I mean,
Yeah.
he needs a good showing, or he might not be the starting quarterback. And it's kind of strange. It's every time you go, man, this game is going to suck. Why am I going to do it? It turns into a pretty good game. We saw that last Monday night too with the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, let's hope. Hope springs eternal. But you just get the feeling that for there's two quarterbacks involved. Although it looks like Flacco might play. Is that?
Flacco's playing. Darnold's hurt.
Flacco's going to play.
Yeah.
Flacco against a.
I know this has been a great game 5 years ago. This quarterback matchup 5 years ago would have been incredible.
You just hope that Cam Newton can show something, because I'm greatly concerned about the future of his NFL career. Jameis Winston, we got a little taste of what he's capable of doing. We saw him eat a W again, dude. Stop that. You need to just put that put that in your bag and.
No, eat all the W's you want when
you
beat your former team in that building. I mean, the stuff he was doing in the locker room that I saw in video. If anybody deserved any of that, it was that dude.
He hates the Bucs. There's no question that there's a little bit of animosity there. And to have them just lay that egg was absolutely ridiculous. That was as bad a football game as I've seen an NFL team offer us in a long time, because it was so unbelievably unexpected to see Brady and the likes, and then the addition of Antonio Brown, and it was just a circus, a cluster. Byron Leftwich, man, you have to kind of start questioning your offensive coordinator's play call, because if Brady can't find it, nobody can.
Well, and again, I mean, is it just one really just bad game? Do you chalk it up? Because it's Tom Brady, you don't panic. For you to say, after watching the 2020 Dallas Cowboys, that was the worst team you had seen, I mean, what does that say? And let's kind of go back to the Cowboys. We didn't get into this earlier, but this defense has shown some fight the last couple of weeks that we didn't see in the first part of the season. Antoine Woods, deserves a whole lot of credit.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and I think this is George Teague level, but the pride that this team has, and because we've questioned whether this team had pride and understood from fans what it means to have a star on your helmet. I guess Juju on TikTok earlier in the day had talked about dancing on the star if he scores a touchdown. And Antoine Woods was very clear he was going to protect the star. And when Juju scored late, Antoine Woods was there, and Juju did not want to get speared because Antoine said that's what he was going to do. I think the fact that you're seeing some pride out of this Dallas Cowboy team, and Antoine was the captain yesterday. Apparently, when they went out for the coin toss, he told Ben, you better keep your boy in check. If he comes out to that star, I know I'm going to get fined and suspended, but he ain't going to do anything to that star. I do think, though, Antoine Woods needs some credit for, while he didn't have to do anything, he was openly prepared to protect the star at all costs.
Again, as we talk about safeties, and certainly, his play wasn't, we didn't lose the game because of poor safety play. But we did see what Minkah Fitzpatrick and a safety is capable of. Again, we were decimated by a safety from another team. You'd think at some point the talent acquirers there with the Cowboys would realize that the safety can do a lot of really good things if you get the right one. And Jerry's history has been he doesn't need it. But I'll tell you what, when you got the right one, the difference is made. And Minkah, well, he won the game.
Well, yeah, he did. But I'll tell you what, we're more than just a safety away.
Oh, yeah.
Watching Jamal Adams not really help the Seattle defense makes me feel a whole lot better about him not being with the Dallas Cowboys right now. The Seattle defense is so bad. It reminds me, and, with my wife being from Seattle, we watch all the Seahawk games. Watching them reminds me of what I thought the Cowboys were going to be. You better score 40 points a game, and if your quarterback has a turnover or two, your defense isn't going to bail them out.
Well, Seattle gets to ride that boat. But I'll tell you, I know that the defense is taking a lot of abuse. But the way Allen and the Buffalo offense went, you were going to have to play really well against that team. They were solely prepared to make a statement yesterday, and they did. They got the opportunity, and they took advantage of it late.
They did. And Buffalo's a good football team. They had that 2-game hiccup in there. But, and I watched them early and thought they were good. Then they lost 2. I kind of bailed on them. They're a legit football team. I wish they would run Singletary a little bit more or be a little bit more consistent in the run game. But Diggs in that offense, worth the price that Buffalo gave up to get him.
Has nothing to do with your fantasy team, right?
Not at all.
Everything to do with my fantasy team.
I will say this, and I think this is a good close on. One of the things we saw this weekend is we are beginning an era of great quarterbacking. From Justin Herbert to the 2 kids that went at it with Arizona and Miami to the way that Burrow has been playing. Young quarterbacks galore, and they're all good. All of them. I don't recall an era in the NFL where we had so many good quarterbacks, both young and old, setting foot on the field. And a lot of them that can't even get on the field because they're being fronted by a younger player.
But tonight we get Joe Flacco against Cam Newton. Enjoy that great quarterback play.
Well, one of them will not be playing. Probably both. We'll get at it tomorrow here on the Blitz.
Follow your favorite San Antonio area high school in all varsity sports on 210varsity.com. Instant scores anytime on